Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to the show. This is James from My Take on Reality. We have the Speak Pipe Show, Speak Pipe Extravaganza. Hold on one second. Let me do something because my screen just went blank. All right. If you guys can see me, you can hear me, drop me a 1 in the chat so that I know that I'm good to go. And we are rocking and rolling. Let me switch that over. Yep. All right. Thank you. Yeah, welcome to the show. Very exciting time. We have some speak pipes to get through. But before we do, I wanted to just mention with regard to Sister Wives, kind of what I have planned, what I'm doing. Kind of like what I did for the Janelle video where I talked about legalization. I'm going through like the Facebook chat groups and Reddit, our Facebook group, as well as other Facebook groups. And I think it'd be a worthwhile exercise to talk about some of the things that I noticed, like what's being said, right? Because with the innovation of the like the whole, I won't even say innovation, it's the revigoration of the whole catfish storyline, where now we're talking about catfish, whether Mary was faithful or cheating, whether Cody was wrong, who was wrong. And there's a lot of discussion around that. So I'm gonna have to put my take on it. Had to put my stank on it. Just want to talk about it, not necessarily because at the end of the day, I think that the issue itself is so old. It's so past its expiration date that whose fault it is, I think, is irrelevant for the most part. Like, it's like whether if it's Mary's fault, then like Cody might be upset, he might be mad, he could be hurt, which is fair. That he can feel how he wants to feel. But there's so much water under the bridge and so much time has passed. And he says that he's happy now. He's in a better position with Robin and he has the love of his life and his life is going perfectly. Then there's really no point other than to, twofold. One, to public humiliate Mary and create an issue which just kind of drives her into the ground. Two, I think that it's a direct result of their lack of storyline. Because they don't have anything else that they want to talk about or address, or nothing new that's going on that's interesting or noteworthy screen time, they're finding something that has caused like a big discussion in the past, and they're just kind of reaching into the ground and pulling it up out of its grave. I think that that's all the catfish stuff really is, right? I will say, though, there are new things that we can talk about with regard to the catfish situation, and especially in light of where people are kind of appearing now. You know, it's just when we look back on it, with the information that we have now, the positions we have now, the personalities that are kind of revealing themselves now, it does give a different little twist to the whole situation. And I want to talk about some of those things. Now, my whole point and purpose in this isn't to embarrass anybody, humiliate anybody. I'm certainly not trying to jump on the bandwagon of beating up on Mary. Because I had said before, one of the reasons why this isn't one of my favorite things to talk about is because ultimately it does feel like bullying. Like this feels like a high-tech bully situation where we know it's something that's embarrassing to Mary, and she's humiliated about it. And it will keep talking it up, dragging it up because it's humiliating to her. A way that I think she could take the teeth out of it, if I'm going to be honest, is that if she comes out and just admits what it was, what it is, what it was, and, get past it. You said you were sorry. You said that you apologized. And like Cody, when he went on his apology tour, apologies, if you don't acknowledge what you did and you don't accept full responsibility for your participation or your actions in a particular thing, then your apology is meaningless. Your apology is worthless. It doesn't mean anything if you say you're sorry. You know what I mean? Whether you're apologizing to Cody, you're apologizing to the family, you're apologizing to the fans, whatever. So from that respect, I just say that if you're going to stand 10 toes down on, I did nothing wrong, then this is always going to come up. And you're always going, and more to the point, you're always going to lose. Because honestly, it's if we're going to maintain a standard of principle, it's an indefensible position. It's an indefensible position because, and I'll get into it in the video, but we had a couple comments that I saw. Let me check them out. Hold on one second. Then we'll get into speak pipes. Well, everybody's here. But let's see. Cody could have left Mary alone, but he wanted to punish her for misbehaving. Yeah. Plus, I said before, and I stand on this. I said this years ago on YouTube, and this has always been my feeling on it. When you have somebody in Mary's situation, and Mary, Christine, Janelle, and you have a group of people, examples must be set. Examples must be set. Part of Mary's role after the catfish incident was that she became a living reminder to the other wives of a couple things, right? One, if you walk out that door, you'll realize that there's nothing better for you out there, which is kind of like code and used in every abusive relationship. You ain't never gonna find nobody better than me. You're worthless. You ain't shit. I'm the only one who's ever gonna love you. If you do find somebody else, they're gonna treat you worse than me. And you're lucky that I'm spending time with you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She basically represented that point. So if any of you women ever think about leaving, look at Mary. She becomes that example. Look at Mary. She went off, thought she was going to get this handsome, successful, beautiful man who was going to love her and care for her and do everything I wasn't doing. Turns out, one, that man wasn't real. Two, it was a woman. Three, they had nefarious ideas of taking advantage of her. And then all of a sudden, that's what the storyline is. And you just keep, every time you get in an argument with somebody, you can leave, be like Mary then, because you're an example. So, and two, she, like kind of what Lizzie was saying, she becomes a reminder as well. So not only are you an example of what can happen if you leave, but you also become an example of, if your ass step out of line, I'm going to Maricize you, and that's going to be it. You're going to be a Mary. And I'm going to treat you like I treat Mary. I'm going to do you like I do her. Because even when Cody told Christine that he wasn't going to sleep with her no more, what did Christine say? He ain't going to do me like he do Mary? And why would she say that? Because Mary is the example. Because you know that he's capable of it. It's one thing to talk about how you go on this and you go on that. It's another thing for you to say, have a living, breathing example that exists in your family that you can show people. You don't think I'm capable? Look at Mary. Go talk to Mary. You find out about me. I'm that one. So, and there's a couple other things, but I mean, that's basically it. That's why he kept her ass around. That, and then 3, of course, he wanted to punish her. You know what I mean? Because he didn't like her ass. And it was just a way for him to punish her and be as mean and nasty to her as he thought he wanted to be. If anything, he might be more hurt that she actually left when she did leave. He lost that little bit of control. Because it's not that I want to be with you. I just, 1, don't want you to be with anybody else. 2, I don't want you to be happy. And 3, I want to be able to continue to mistreat you however I treat you. And you just have to take it. So, we had what did Megan trying to say? Megatron, what's up, girl? Hey Betty, how you doing? Miss Betty in the house. Says Megatron said, tell the truth about it, and that Robin orchestrated the entire thing. Well, see, that's the whole thing too. It's because I don't know why Robin and Cody even agreed to this shit. We're gonna make Mary look like crap. Yeah, but the fans already know that Robin was involved. The only real question is how directly involved was Cody? Because we already know that Robin is involved. There's no way around that shit. Right? So like I don't know why I wouldn't even entertain catfish. If I did something wrong, shit. Man, catfish. Ain't talking about no damn catfish. I slap the shit out of somebody. I go to a restaurant, they be like, what they got on the menu? Oh, they got steak, pork, and fish. Oh, what kind of fish they got? They got salmon. They got halibut. They got catfish. I'll step back and slap the shit out of you. We catfish. Don't be talking about no catfish to me. I ain't know nothing about no catfish. I don't want no catfish. What comes to the French fry? What kind of fish is it? Catfish. Not my ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that if we start talking about catfish, my part might come out. So I'm good. But I would even say, did Mary set them up? Robin set Mary ass up? Absolutely. Absolutely. She set her ass up. The only real problem is that Mary went along with it. Because it's like if I go out with my friends and my friends are all single and they want me to be single too, or they want to have fun and maybe they meet some young ladies and they're like, oh yeah, James, he be wild and crazy. We get him fired up or whatever, get some drinks on him. He Mr. Talkative man. We could ride that in on the back end. And I go over there with him. It don't matter how much my friends encourage me. It don't matter if they set me up, put me like for some reason we go somewhere and we got a hotel room. I don't know why you would be away like that, but we go somewhere, we got a hotel, and one of the dudes, my buddies, let a woman into my room. Right? I can't mess around with her, come home to my wife and be like, yeah, that's because Joe set me up. He brought the woman up in my room knowing I was drinking and I wasn't feeling good, and she brought the woman in my room and Nope. Either put her ass out or you leave. That's the way that worked. Because everybody got to carry their own water. So do I think Robin set her up? Yeah, absolutely. But all the best setups in the world only work if you go along with that shit. Now, I don't know. Like I'll get more into it in the video, but here's my thing. I don't believe in cheating. Right? I don't believe in cheating. My thing is this, and in addition to not believing in cheating, being a big fan of cheating, I also think that if you're going to leave somebody, you never leave somebody for somebody. So if I'm going to leave my relationship, I'm leaving my relationship because my relationship doesn't work. And if I meet somebody whom I wish to spend time with after the conclusion of my relationship, then if I'm a smart person, I'm gonna try to give a little time so that I have a little space. I could do some healing, and I'm not dragging bad experiences and luggage into my next relationship to ruin that relationship too. I might have to, I'm taking accountability for myself, so I might have to do some work on me, because relationships oftentimes don't fail because one person is awesome and other person's an asshole. One person walks on water, the other person sinks like a lead stone. It's usually, hand in hand. One person could be a complete jerk, but is there something about me, which maybe I'm not a jerk, but maybe I'm tolerative of that. Like, I'll tolerate it. Maybe there's something about me where I encourage it or I enable it. Maybe there's something about me where that's, people have self-destructive tendencies. Maybe I'm looking for that shit. That's part of my, she's so sexy. She get worked up, son. She passionate because she will bust the windows up out your car, man. You make her mad, she'll flatten your tires, scratch your paint. That's love right there. Maybe that's me. That's something I need to work on. And I'm not going to figure that out, you know, rock skipping in a different relationship. So I got to figure that out for me. So I might need to take a little time, but I'm not leaving a relationship for another person. And unfortunately for Mary, she had a bad relationship, but she didn't find it in herself to leave that relationship until she thought she secured another relationship. And because of that huge weakness, when that person wasn't who Mary thought they were, she tried to revert back into her old relationship. And that's how, and by doing it that way, that's how Cody got at. That made her even more vulnerable. Like I say, if you're going to leave, leave. And once you go, stay gone. Don't, oh, shit. This girl was making all kinds of promises and that shit didn't work. So I'm going back to my other relationship. And we'll talk about it. Because I think there's other parts of it that people are kind of ignoring as well. There's other parts of it people are kind of ignoring. We'll talk about it. But Megatron was this. Mary has to be honest with herself before she can speak the actual truth, not her truth that's being tainted in denial and cloaks of charity. Robin set up. Yeah. You gotta be honest with yourself and recognize your part in it. Recognize your part and just own your shit. Own your shit. And it's not your job to own anybody else's stuff, carry anybody else's weight. Just own your stuff. Is this Betty had something? Miss Betty said, when someone loses power over you, you go from perceived weakness. Yeah. Yeah, because they think they got your ass. Absolutely. They think they got you. But the part of the thing with having somebody having power over you, a little secret, and this is just off the dome. I got to think about it a little more, maybe come up with a converse position. But in most cases, I'll say it that way. I'll give it a qualifier. In most cases, people don't have power over you unless you give them that power. Like Cody can say whatever he want to say. And when rubber meets the road, it doesn't matter from Mary's perspective what Cody says unless she gives him the power to matter and be relevant to her. Now that's just in like interpersonal relationships, but because she tied her finances up, he does have some issues and some power and control because he's controlling so much of her wealth. But let's see, Jody Periscala with the 9.99 super chat. Catfishes know how to play on vulnerable people. Lots of the elderly get taken. Their internet is full of vultures. You never know who is being behind the keyboard. Absolutely. Absolutely. And like most cons, the truth of it is that they always sell you the roses and not so much the manure. So it's, like the guy that Mary was involved with, and in many cases, the catfish people that you'll be involved with, the shit's too good to be true. Like it's so crazy. It's so amazing. Like the guy Mary was supposed to be talking to, like, holy shit. Like that guy was like I don't know if like, I don't be a dick, but I don't know if 20-year-old Mary could pull that dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, it's just, because most of the catfish situations I've seen, it's always somebody like, holy smokes. If you met this woman or you met this man in real life, would you talk to them? Like, do you think they would talk to you? I'll put it that way. Do you think they would talk to you? Like, because you must be turning people down left and right. They're like, oh, they just, my girl, she's flying in from Brazil, super mega model. She from the island of Potiguar. She's a Guyanese princess. She's from Ghana. Like what? And you were working at the Sugar Shack, mopping floors. Talking about your girl going to swoop in and take you away and put you up in a penthouse in New York because she got money like that, and she's 34 years old. She's a virgin. She said she saved herself for a man just like me. So why you giving her your check? I'm not giving her no money. I'm just giving her my bank account so she can start making deposits. That kind of shit. I put her name on my bank account because it'd just be easier for her to make deposits. And a lot of times they do know your vulnerabilities because that's what they prey on. In Mary's case, they call it the catfish. I think it's actually, if I want to be 100%, I think it's actually, as fans, much like I said, we have to stop calling the McMansion Robin's house and start referring to it what it actually is, Cody and Robin's house. I think with regard to the catfish, I know that's the popular term for it, but I don't think that's an accurate description because Mary didn't get catfish. You got set up. There's a difference. Okay. Like if I'm walking down the street and I'm supposed to be meeting my buddy at a location, right? At a house or something. And I go to the house, ring the doorbell, 4 armed men come out. They run them pockets, strip my jewelry. I don't wear jewelry, but I have jewelry. They take my jewelry and all this. Take my money, take my car keys, everything. Right? Credit cards, wallet, all that shit. I got robbed. Right? But if my buddy, my supposed friend, asked me to meet me at that location, and he told me, James, make sure you wear your stuff. You want to be decked out. You want to have at least walk in there with at least 1,000. You want to walk in there with a full band, right? And make sure you have your and just in case, make sure you bring some plastic in case some of the places we go don't take cash. They might just only do credit. So make sure you have some good plastic with some good limits because we might get some gold place. We got bottle service. I'm like, well, first of all, I can't go. My pockets don't run like that. My bank account don't work like that. But I'm just saying, if I had it like that, and that's what my buddy said to me, I did not get robbed. Okay, they might have stole some shit, and on the police report, it's going to say I got robbed. It was a robbery, but I got set up. This is because robbery sounds like, oh, you just walking down the street, some shit happened. Mary was just on the internet talking to some people, and this nefarious person just dropped out of nowhere and started hitting up online. That's not what happened. Mary's ass got set up. She got a dude. She got a person who presented themselves as a man who was custom made for Mary. Not somebody who was just out there and Mary saw him on Instagram or Twitter or Tinder. I'm about to say Twitter. On swipe left on Twitter, swipe left to swipe right or whatever on Tinder, and scooped him, and it turned out, made a mistake. That's not what happened. She got set up. So when we call it the catfish, I encourage that we put that caveat on it. Because if I gotta look through it, because there's probably a better way to say it, but Mary ass got set up. So I don't even really feel comfortable calling that shit a catfish. You know what I mean? Because she ain't get catfish. Catfish is something, is a lot less personal. This was way personal, So, but yeah, definitely. And because it's one thing for them to play on general vulnerabilities or talk to you on the phone and find out what your shit is, figure you out. It's another thing when somebody in your camp gives detailed maps on all your vulnerabilities, on how to get into your fortress. You know what I mean? Some traitorous son of a bitch give away all that information. That's not just a random thing. That's not a random thing. But I think that, especially vulnerable people, that's why you gotta look out for your people who might not be as savvy. Typically, they put it on old people, but young people get it too. You know what I mean? It's old people and women. No, men get set up all the time. That situation I talked about, like, they've been doing that. Like, women and stuff have been doing that to men forever. When I was a kid, before the internet, like, I can actually say that shit. Ain't that scary? Before the internet, y'all, they was doing that to people. Women would say, meet a guy or talk to a guy, invite him someplace. He get there, and dude get robbed, butt booty naked. Just take everything. You know what I mean? That shit is not new. And you got set up. That's not, you get catfish. You got set up. Like, Mary ass got set up. The only thing that I'm pissed about is the fact that she won't come out. She kind of dances around it now. Even in our conversation where she says, I don't trust Robin because she mentioned some things that maybe the catfish knew and blah, blah, blah. She don't come out and just say with a whole chest, yeah, Robin set me up. Robin did that shit. I went along with it. Here's the caveat. When I want to hear the whole statement, Robin set it up, and I was foolish enough to go along with it. I made a mistake going along with it, but she did that. She did that shit. So she's sitting here trying to play Miss Innocent. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I do that and all that. She set me up. So we both guilty. I'm saying, Robin, come on, sit over here next to me, because we both guilty. But thank you, Jody Pierce. Then we have Megatron with the $5 super chat. Nobody can convince me that Jen hasn't told Mary the catfish was orchestrated by Robin and Cody as a way to get the legal divorce and him to dog her publicly. Yeah, I'm sure they've had that conversation. And the thing that actually might annoy some of you, I can see them having a conversation where Jen says that, and I can also see Mary getting pissed off at Jen and threatening to cut her off because she doesn't want to believe it. That's the other part of it. Because you can't, like, what was the old saying? You can take a horse to water, you can drag a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink it. I think that's what Mary is. You can show her all the evidence in the world, and there's going to be a part of Mary. Yeah, Mary might, even if she admits it out of her mouth, there'll still be a part of Mary that deep down hopes that Robin denies it, hopes that Cody denies it, and they come back and retort with some evidence to display that they didn't do it. And barring that absolute, like, yes, we did it, because even crazier, if they came out and said, yeah, we did that shit. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did, for sure. Set your ass up. I'm sorry. Mary would forgive him. So, I mean, that's kind of where we are. I think she would forgive him. But thank you, Megatron. That is what it is. I mean, it's not my business. She ain't mad. I ain't mad. I'm done being angry for people. You know, I'm done being angry for people. If you're not mad, I'm not mad. What I'm mad about, you know, like, I'm not gonna lose no sleep. Like, you okay with it? I'm okay with it. What is this? Let's see. Carmel Cuties said the message leaked back then. Other CC posted it where Kendra and Robin were discussing how Mary was a biatch who didn't deserve a baby. Damn. Saying God was punished over with. Oh shit. What? What? Oh, ooh, what? What? Oh my goodness. Mary, I don't know, girl. I don't know. If that shit is true, I don't know how you even. I only got 2 words for you. On site. Understand what I'm saying? On site. Look, y'all can meet me somewhere. We could do this one, like my boy Bruce said, like my boy Bruce Lee said, in Fist of Fury. We can do this one at a time, or we can do this all together. And if you don't want to meet, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting you on notice. On site. When next time I see your ass, we getting down. I don't care where it is, what's going on, we getting down. Because that shit is too far. It's one thing for Kendra and Robin to talk about, like, yeah, I wanted to embarrass and humiliate Mary, so I set up a catfish thing. That's bad, you know. But talking about, you know, you don't deserve a baby, and I'm being punished by on site. Bad shit happened to me because she didn't just not get pregnant. Mary didn't just not get pregnant. She lost children. She had miscarriages. So you telling me losing kids was a means of punishing me out your mouth? Okay. On site, meet me at at this time. We could do it one at a time, or we could do it all together. However you want to do it. We get down all together. We can party up. It don't make a difference. Or on site. No appointments necessary. No waiting. What? No, player. No. You don't get to start. No, you don't get to do that. That's too far. That is way too far. That's way over the line. You should marry. Look, and then Robin ass sitting there talking about her little goblin ass sitting there talking about I don't owe nobody an apology. You should apologize for that shit. You should apologize for this. I don't care about everything else. Yeah, I took, your man chose me. I stole all the money. That's bad enough. If your kids, that's bad enough. But talking about taking kids, y'all just living. These folk, boy, they live reckless. They shit up out there. The stuff that fall out of their mouth is incredible. Y'all incredible. Y'all just don't give a shit. Like I'm living my life La Vida Loca at that point. I mean, oh man, like my movie, but greatest action line, same movie. Fist of Fury, same scene. Homeboy came up, he was like, "You coming here by yourself? You must be tired of living. You write shit like this, you canceling your subscription to life. Like, what are you doing? Like, there's easier ways for you just to go ahead and do yourself, because doing this will get you knocked off. You can't say this. Like, some people, it's just words, it's not a big deal. But it also depends on your audience. Because some people take this is deadly serious. This is deadly. This type of talk, like, I mean, I talk reckless sometimes too. I'm talking reckless now, right? This shit is reckless. But damn. What? Oh, man, Robin, girl, she's the moral compass of the entire family since the beginning. The directions is to hell. The directions is taking you to hell, son. Get off the train, because you don't want to be there when the shit start getting hot. This train is going to hell. It's express. Are you crazy? Oh, I tell you what. I'll be hesitant to whisper that shit to somebody, much less send it on like correspondence that somebody could copy and send somewhere else and shit get leaked. Bless you. Those text messages back then were horrible to read. Show Robin's true evil side. Oh, yeah, you don't get to. If something happened to my children, and you, why you get so animated, James? You always go to the hands-on stuff. I don't like it. You act like such a savage. One thing you don't get to do. I'm very calm. Like, I know I don't come off that way. This is a show, though. I'm very calm in my real life. The one thing, though, I'm gonna be honest. The one thing that will always get me: don't talk shit about my mama. Don't talk shit about my family, my dad, my brother, my mama. That's a no bueno. As I got older, don't talk shit about my wife. Don't talk shit about my kids. And if something were to ever happen to my children, and somebody came out and said, that's why blase blah happened to his kid, that was the Lord punishing him, and he did it through his kid, I'm telling you, I have zero chill on that. I got zero chill. That's a zero tolerance situation. I can take most things. If you say some shit about me, I can handle it. But I'm telling you, I could not do that. I don't have the tolerance for it. I don't have the tolerance. If you can't fill up out your mouth talking about something happened to my kid because I did something to your ass, you trying to tell me the Lord is hurting my child because of something? He loves you so much, he gonna hurt one of my babies? See, I'm gonna have to beat the blaspheme up out your ass. That's what that is. I'm doing you a favor, because I'm gonna beat the blaspheme up out your ass, because that's blasphemous. That's crazy. That is crazy. I can't do like that shit. Get me kind of fired up. Now I'm thinking about it. I put myself in that situation, and I'm telling you, it would get wild. It would get wild. Because I'll pull up to your house. Like, I don't give a shit. I'll ask you, you know what I mean? I'll ask for you at the door. Are they home? Yes, yeah, please send them outside, unless you want your living room towed up. Send their asses on out so they can get what they got. You know, what you're not going to do is put my child in your mouth over something I did to you. If I did it, be a whole ass, for me, be a whole ass man. Come to me and say James, I don't like what you did. You asshole. Whatever you gonna say, you're bastages, whatever, right? And you say what you gonna say to me. And from there, we go argue back and forth, call each other names, whatever the case may be, bump chests or whatever, in the street, whatever. But don't ever fix your mouth. Don't ever fix your mouth to say that my child or children deserve pain and suffering because somehow you're highly favored. I will wear your ass out. Like, don't do that shit, because that's crazy to me. That is insanity. I mean, even that shit, like, Cody, I get that's your lady, and you're gonna have to have her back in public. I get that shit. But that's definitely one of them things where Cody, when that shit came out, Cody should have pulled Robin up, like, you need to apologize for that shit, because that's too far. I don't like ass either, but that is too far. That's too far. Me, I don't mind Mary, but Mary to me is pretty much par for the course in this situation. But like, that shit is too far. Like, bruh, I don't care how big an asshole she was to you. She said some shit to hurt your feelings. You're a man. If she disagree with you, bro, Cody, you're a man. Take your ass over there. Robin, be a whole ass woman. You big enough, bad enough, strong enough. You can come in here and take money, resources, time, and attention, and capitalize off of everybody's husband. You that big a woman, then be a big enough woman to walk over there and say, look, I got a problem with you. Blah, 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 blah. Here's my issues. Da, 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 da. But for you to go behind my back, like, I don't even give a shit about you talking about me behind my back. I don't care about that shit. But you say something about my kids and wish hateful shit on my children. Oh, yeah. On site. I might even call. It might not even be no appointments on that shit. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. It might not be no appointments on that one. Meet me at the nope. Nope. I'm arranging the meeting. When I catch you, I caught you. You know what I mean? What? That shit is crazy. Yeah, when he said, amen, James, I can't be bad for these people anymore. They don't care. Exactly. I'm just at that point. Like, cause that, and Mary, I don't know how you sit on that couch with that shit. Like, if that shit came out and somebody said that, I don't know how you sit on that couch and pretend like, yeah, I mean, it only works really one way. Well, I'm just saying, like, if they want to be cool and stuff, I'm down to have a conversation. Oh yeah, Robin comes. That's that shit where the only way I can see a situation like that for me is like back in the day, somebody get in a squab or whatever, and you break them up, you pull folks apart, and you be like, nah, man, I'm cool. Let me go. I'm cool. Hey, man, let me shake your hand. Come on. I'm cool, man. Just back up. Let me shake your hand, bro. Don't do that shit. He's just trying to get close to you again. He's trying to get within arm's reach. And he gonna tag your ass. So don't do that. So if that's what Mary doing, okay, I get it. But I don't get, like, I would never want to speak to you again. Like, cause they don't make enough. Look, if you, I'm gonna say something fucking reckless, but if you say something about my kids like that, because the way I take it, that again, my children are being hurt, harmed, punished, or unalived because of something I did to you, some petty ass disagreement I had with you. My kids are gonna be unalive. You need to stay away from me. You need to stay away from me. Because I'm telling you right now, there ain't enough money printed in circulation that you be able to bail my ass out. There ain't enough money in the world for them to be able to, like, all right, here we go. Let James out so he could be in the street until his trial start. We ain't never letting his ass go. But he did. Okay. Shit, we trying to figure out we can express train his ass right to the prison. You know what I mean? They are currently building a place we plan on storing his body and his bones after he died. For what he did, after that shit, you don't get the nope. You need to stay away from me. So no, there ain't gonna be no reunion tours, no friendly fest. We not cool. After that, like even like I'm gonna keep it a buck because I don't think like violence is always the way. I don't think violence is the way. And when you start having shit to lose, you know, freedom, the ability to see your kids, you're not helping them, you know. So what you do is, like I say about most temptation, you remove yourself from situations like that. Because clearly, if you talk that reckless, you don't give a shit about yourself. The way I see it, you don't care about yourself. Because you put me in a position where you want me to do something to you. Because like I said, you just tired of being here. You like, I'm canceling a subscription to life. I want to be with, get on to the next chapter. And I'm not going to oblige you. So you need to stay away from me. Because that's crazy. That's crazy. I ain't hear that shit. That's crazy. That's cray. Yeah, that should give me a headache just thinking about it. You know what I mean? What? Yes, the Lord punished her because she tried to pretend like she didn't want to be my friend. And blah, blah. I asked her for some money and she act like she don't want to give it to me. That's why she got a graveyard full of womb. Like I will put what? That's why she had miscarriages. Because I would run the whole like you. The way my mind works, I listen to your statement and I play it all the way out. Play it all the way out. So I get all the implications of what you're saying. Because implication isn't just, oh, that's why you can't find a man or you can't find a woman. That's why you gonna die alone or some shit like that. That's one thing. But that's why the Lord only gave you one child because you're such a terrible person. Especially keeping it like Robin knows. If I know that Mary had miscarriages, Robin's nasty ass know that she had miscarriages. Robin knows that. And to say that the Lord, killed your womb and made you infertile, meaning that the children that you did have, he took because I did something to you. Not a good look. Not a good look. Yeah. Megatron with the $5 super chat. The the catfish showed up when the nanny niece Lindsay did in Vegas. The friend Kendra implicated Lindsay in her interview that I watched. Yeah, you know what? I heard that too. That that's how a lot of it was clarified when they were doing that, like because they were trying to shift blame because the truth started coming out and everybody's scared that they're gonna be the ones, caught with the hot potato. So you start trying to pass the blame around. But either way, they the same way I blame Cody for a lot of this shit. Even though Robin was manipulative and she was orchestrating a lot of things behind the scenes, I've always taken a position that none of it would be possible without Cody going along with it. Lindsay and Kendra were Robin's people. And none of the things that they tried to do would have been possible without Robin's influence and her going along with it. Like Robin could have nipped the shit in. Like if she knew about it, heard about it, or, they were telling a story or whatever the case may be, she could have nipped a lot of that shit in the bud early on if she wanted to. But clearly she didn't want to. So, but let me give you a little something. Yeah, that shit threw me for a left, boy. Like, what? Mary, why are you trying to be friends with these people? What is wrong with you? we could never be friends. We could never be friends after some shit like that. You say some shit like that. There's some places like, what do you call it? Red line, or, some things you say you can't take back. And that'd be, for me, that's one of the things that you would say to me. You could never take that back. Oh, I'm sorry, I be tripping. I'm sorry I had too much to this or that. Then you need to get yourself in a program. You can't forgive me? Nope. Nope. I forgive you for me so I can move on. And I can't forget, and I'm not going to look past it. So me forgiving you doesn't mean we get to hang out again. So yeah, no. Yeah. But thank you, Megatron. Oh, baby. All right, Miss Betty. You have a good one. Oh, I got to get to some of these speak pipes, y'all, because man, this shit gonna have me. I'm already fired up. Like, yeah, I have an eye ache. You know what I mean? You ever get one of them headaches? Your eye be like, just one eye be hurting and shit. My eye hurt. Cause what are you trying to do to me? Oh, what did you say? I couldn't do it. Bless you. Bless you, Mary. Mary must be trying to get into heaven. I don't know what you did, Mary, that you trying to get into heaven. See, I will forgive you for turning the cheek, and you slap me in the face, I'm going to turn the cheek. And if you kick me in the ass, I'm going to turn that cheek too. Mary, you trying to get into heaven. I couldn't do it. Carmel Keating's with the $5 super chat said, it pissed me off to see Robin offer to be a surrogate when she knew Cody didn't want more kids with Mary. Then to see this text, pure evil. No one deserves that. 100%. Because like I said, even with Mary, like Robin, I tried to offer Mary a surrogate because I know she struggled with children. You didn't offer me shit. If you knew full well that, you understand what I mean? You knew full well there was no way, because the only way that shit works is if Cody agrees to it. Cody wasn't even really spending time over at Mary's house at the time. There was absolutely no way Cody was giving Mary another child. And he was They knew at that time when she had Solomon, they knew that Cody had melted down his ring, his wedding band with Mary, because he didn't want to have her to have no more control over him. So why the hell would she even think or entertain the idea that Cody would be willing to give her a baby? He didn't want her to have no claim on him with a piece of jewelry. A piece of freaking jewelry. There's no way in the world he gonna give her a baby, not on purpose. If they had a baby, it'd be one of them, oops, I'm midlife, one of midlife mistakes. You know what I mean? Instead of a mighty stream, he had a dribble. I don't know what happened, girl. Prostate too big. I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah. And the fact that Robin keeps bringing that up like we're supposed to give her credit for it. And I didn't know about the email thing. I just know I didn't give her credit from the beginning. Cody was never going for that shit. Especially, he wasn't going to do it because what Robin was actually offering. Cody he met the woman of his dreams, his soulmate. He brings her into the family. She already comes in with 3 children. He has 1 child with her that's between the 2 of them. So that's 4 kids. Cody tops out at 6 kids per wife. That's his running average. So she's already got 5. So if she has another one, that's 6. And so there's no way in the world Cody's going to run the risk of, I'm going to have Robin give Mary a baby. And then when I want to go back and make another baby between me and Robin, Robin's like, no, shop's closed. And especially when they start going through, because Robin was having trouble with her pregnancies too towards the end. Supposedly, line, storyline maybe. But she was supposed to be having trouble. So if she's having trouble and she's getting older, and this is a family that's experienced the heartbreak of miscarriages before, there's no way in the world Cody's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna give Mary a child from Robin. Me and Robin conceive a child, put it in, or me and Mary harvest eggs from Mary and put it in Robin. So now I have a Robin putting her life on the line for Mary, and then she have a baby for Mary, go through the pain and discomfort of childbirth for Mary. And then when I'm like, Robin, let's have another, she's like, no, I'm done. Cody's not doing that shit. He was never doing that. He wasn't doing that. So I was insulted when you know what I mean? It's not a thing. like maybe y'all don't understand how this works. Like, because having babies is crazy. Like, y'all know, having babies is crazy on a woman's body. So that would be a tremendous sacrifice to say I'm willing to have a baby for you because of how many changes women's bodies go through having children. That's huge. But I don't think that Robin is the person to do it for. Because if that was the case, what I also noticed was, if that was the case, when Mary went to Cody and said, I want to do it, why? And Cody was like, nah, I don't want to do it. When Mary went back to Robin, was like, I told Cody I want to do it. And Cody said no. Then how come Robin didn't immediately say, Mary, come on, girl, grab her hand and walk over to wherever Cody is, probably back at her house, and walk in our living room and say, Cody, we're doing this because we're a family and Mary needs to have another baby. And so, you need to, we need to go in the back, do what we need to do, pop a mister, and then, give her a child because we a family, and argue with them the way, defend them because you got her back, girl. Mary had to do that shit by herself. Go talk to Cody, talk to you, go talk back to Cody, go talk to you. Mary had to do it by herself. But you all up in everybody's business when it comes to dumb shit. Christmas phone calls, you on the phone for that and interfering with that, but you can't get involved with the real shit. That's what I'm saying. You can't get involved with the real. I don't know what you all worried about the dumb shit for. But thank you so much, Karma Cuties. Let me give you a little something. Then we have Megatron with the $2 super chat. Said Christine, the only one I've seen call Robin and Cody out on camera. Yeah. Consistently. Like every now and again, like Mary or Janella get a flare up and they'll say something, but then they always kind of take it back. That's what makes this shit corny. Yeah, I mean, he never stand on it. Like, yeah, I said it. F Cody, F Curly Q. I don't give a shit. Say what I said. It's always like, well, he got a thing going on. Okay, especially now, Christine's a wild card because she married, got a whole ass man, and she don't need Cody for nothing. And that's, that's why Cody trying to push them NDAs off. We need to get some NDAs signed so that way we don't embarrass each other. So you don't get embarrassed. Because you got this wild woman who's sitting there talking bad shit and she ain't got nothing to lose. That is the most dangerous cast member ever on a reality show. Ain't got shit to lose because you can't do nothing to her. But thank you so much, Megatron. Yeah, one more, then we're going to get to that. Speak poops. Sharon Martina. Sharon Martin. Did I say that right? Martinet? Sharon Martinet? I think that's right. With the $4.99 super chat. Like Vera said in Harlem Nights, we can all be some fight mother effers up in here. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. That's what I'm saying. like, like I call Robin's ass up, be like, you and your girl, and call your friend. Cause I'm about to swing up in y'all place like the Cape Crusaders. You know what I'm saying? Boom! Whap! Whoop! Bam! That shit is crazy. He talks so reckless. I know I be talking shit too, but that's crazy. That's crazy talk. I know, I get it. My humor is a little dark sometimes, but y'all nuts. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I said that, but I was joking. Y'all say stuff like that. That's not a joke. That shit is crazy. But thank you so much, Sharon. Oh, I can't believe it. That is crazy. That's why she ain't got no children. That's why the Lord took away. Just on that part. The last part gets you pulled up on. You trying to drag God up in some stuff. He ain't got nothing to do with this foolishness. But first caller, we got Mary. Not caller, SpeakPipe. Mary's messages.
Hey, James, this is Mary. Hey, I just was listening to the replay for Thursday night, and Carmel Cuties was talking about Janelle and kind of the reasons why they left. But Christine didn't leave because she had a child almost die, and because he didn't go to Isabel's surgery. Christine left because they're not going to be intimate anymore. Is that the reason Janelle left? Because they weren't going to be intimate anymore because he was only with Robin. Was a real reason they left. Had nothing to do with the kids and all about themselves. You can't even make this stuff up, man. Well, let me know what you think.
Yeah, that was actually one of the
James,
things
this
that
is
kinda,
Mary. Hey, I just was listening to the.
Sorry about that. That was actually one of the things that kind of I've been touching on too. Like we give him a lot of credit, like, oh yeah, Cody went too far, started messing with the kids. But it wasn't because of the kids that they stopped messing with them. And that's part of the problem. That wasn't it wasn't because of the children. It was because, hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't because of the kids, that they did that. It was because he had said he was going to stop companioning with them. Like he was going to stop. I'm trying to say it without. So we did was no longer going to bump and grind. Like it's just it's not a good look. It's not a good look. But we try to make them perceived or receive them better, give them the benefit of the doubt. But that is a thing. Here's Mary too.
Hey, James, this is Mary. Hey, I just want to talk about Mary, and I really don't think she was in the family after she divorced Cody. It's just not possible. Cody shunned her. Cody made her have a list, told her she's going to have 20 years of hell before he'd even consider anything with her. And what does she do? She stays. And Cody, with the shunning, was sending the clear message to the other wives. Either follow his lead or they're going to be another Mary in the family too. So I don't think Mary was ever part of the family after the divorce because really none of these people talked to her. None of these people want anything to do with her. Christine's telling her she's heavy when she comes into a room. And if you have family treating you like this, then who needs enemies? Because this family was the worst. And then Mary going on to say, oh, the joke's on Cody. I only stayed 12 years. I don't know. This is just a whole nother part of insanity. Why Mary never left, I have no idea. I don't know if she's going to endure to the end, but man, it just takes kind of a a lot of therapy to get over all of this. Anyway, let me know what you think, James.
Yeah, yeah. I think that that's one of the issues that, like, we I think we see it as um people who are outside watchers. Like, we notice that, Mary wasn't really a part of the family. And by our logic and our understanding of how the family worked, she wasn't a full member of the family. With regard to cheating, um, she thought she was. And so, yeah, I mean, that's really what matters. Like, because if she wasn't a member of the family, then when they were moving from Vegas, why did she go? Why did she sell her house? When she sold her house, why did she follow them to Arizona? You know what I mean? Like, if you are not a member of the family, you're not a member of the family. And if they're allowing you to participate and do stuff because you like the weird, sad friend that, we just let her hang out. What's the harm? If you're that person, then that's actually sadder for Mary. But I, I think it all comes down to what you agree to. Mary agreed to be Cody's wife, and she had an understanding that that was the relationship. You don't get to step out of your relationship and then come back because that relationship didn't work. So I think that's the weird part. But I get what you're saying. Like, she was mistreated. Like, it was crazy. I might say that she was cheating and she was wrong for cheating, but I understand why she did it. I understand why she was vulnerable. I think she was vulnerable. I think she got set up. I think Cody created an environment where cheating could happen, and I think that he has a part in that. So, I mean, there's enough blame to go around. This is Gloria Lopez said, fast forward. Here we are focusing on past BS to hand their hands and say, "Hey, look over here." Well, because this is the only thing that they have really to talk about, and I think that it deserves some commentary. Like, because I'm not a big fan of the catfish discussion. Because, like I said, I think that there's enough blame to go around for everybody. But I think that what makes the catfish discussion catfish, because it was a setup. What makes it interesting is the there seems to be a sliding scale of principles. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of where my next video will be talking about that. Like, because wrong is wrong. And if, I just want to flesh out the idea of when is cheating, cheating, when is wrong, wrong. You know, uh, with Mary, with regard to Mary, like, I get what she did. I think that Cody's like, it's completely forgivable if we're in a better place. I think that Mary, I've said this before and people got mad at me, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Mary is getting bashed over the head with the catfish shit because she can't admit what she did wrong. That's why it keeps getting brought up. Because if Mary admitted what her part in it, what she did, and said, "Yeah, I did that shit. Yeah, I thought I had a dude," and if the catfish was the man that they presented themselves to be, I'd have been gone. I'd have been gone. Because first of all, he was the guy that, picture they used, way better looking than Cody. He's supposed to be like 6 something, way better looking, way more successful. I mean, complete package. She has a better relationship with him. She can sit up there and giggle like she do with Jen with this dude. You know what I mean? Supposedly, she was gone. And she'd say, "Yeah, they got me." Because did you see that? Yeah. what I was working with, I got. It is what it is. If she had just said that instead of trying to make it into this like some nefarious person dropped out of nowhere and she was having this innocent conversation trying to be a friend, and all of a sudden they went psycho on her and she was so scared and didn't know what to do and she couldn't tell nobody, and all this, and she's been victimized and mistreated. When you turn it into that, then that creates a different set of circumstances because you're still not the victim. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I was one of the OG3, and yes, even Cody, not even OG3, if I was Christine, Janelle, yes, Robin, yes, Cody, and this was going on, and you're saying that you're scared because supposedly this man has your house bugged, something she said during one of the episodes. He must have been bug my house or something and spying on me with cameras in my house because he knew about personal conversations I was having. As it turns out, it was Robin, but he knew about personal conversations I was having, things I was saying, things I was wearing, what time I was coming on. So he was watching and keeping in mind they lived in Vegas. They lived in a gated community. That was a gated community. So somehow this man hopped the fence, broke into Mary's house and set all this shit up. And she didn't say anything. And I'm living next door to you with my kids. And I'm thinking my kids are okay. I got my kids walking in and out of houses. My door and shit is open. And I got my kid walking across the little cul-de-sac to go play with their brothers and sisters and shit, playing out in the street. And this psycho is breaking into your house and you don't tell me that, like this is where you telling one lie to try to cover up because you think it makes you look good on one end makes you look way worse. It's one thing for you to be stepping out, cheating or backstabbing your relationship. It's another thing for you to put your family, more importantly, your kids, in jeopardy. And the story she's telling is essentially doing just that. She's putting her kids in jeopardy. And I would take issue more. Like if I believed what she was saying, I would have more issue with that. Even if I was, yes, Robin, even if I was Cody, I would have issues with that. Because what you don't get to do is you don't get to make decisions where you put my kids in danger because of the bad choices you made. If you decided to befriend this person, this guy was your friend. He wasn't even a boyfriend. He was your friend. And he lost his damn mind. What you do is, my house might have been bugged, and I know if your house was bugged. Then what you do is, you say, James, let's go down to the park. I want to show you something, all right? Yeah, because I think the kids will really enjoy some shit. We get in the car, we drive to the park, you get out the car, you walk me over to the monkey bars, and you tell me what the hell is going on at the crib. And you let me make decisions for the safety of my family. But what you don't get to do is you don't get to sit there and hide and pretend like you too embarrassed because you don't want to tell nobody some shit. And that's what I'm saying. Like there's like the stories they're trying to tell, I think are deeper than the lies they try to tell, have deeper implications than just he's just a catfish person who conned me and was threatening me and I was dealing with this by myself. If he's crazy enough to break into your house in a cul-de-sac, and according to Mary, he was threatening the family. If you threatening the family, you threatening the kids, you threatening the wives, and you don't let me know that this shit is going on, then there's something wrong with you. And I would have issue like the story she's telling. Like I said, if I believe Mary, then I would have a real issue with Mary. 100%. I would have a real issue with Mary. Like we go down to the beach and you see a shark fin and you stand on come on, Mary, come on, we all go bring the kids with their red ass shorts. We're going to get into the ocean and go swimming. And you standing on the beach. Well, I'm scared of the water. That's all you want to say. You don't say, oh, I just saw a shark fin, like 2-3 shark fins go around in a circle and dip under the water in the shallows. You didn't say that shit. But then I'm so, oh, okay. Well, I mean, you was scared and shit. You was scared. No. You don't get to stand by and put your hands in your pockets. So that's, and especially some shit you brought this. This is your problem. So, yeah. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you tell the truth, the truth would depower a lot of this conversation. It's only really a conversation because Mary's actually the one keeping it going. If she told the truth on what it was, then we could focus on the Rob and Cody aspect. We could focus on the Rob and Cody aspect. You do that, they ain't gonna bring it up no more. I guarantee it. I'll guarantee it. But good point, Gloria. I mean, I do think it's a distraction. To her point, I do think it's a distraction because distracting us from the reality that they don't have nothing else to tell us. That's all they got. Next thing you know, we're going to be the next episode, season 21. We're going to talk about how Logan went to college. Yeah, I mean, Logan's first year in college. Oh, goodness gracious. But let's get to the next. Speak pipe. Caroline from Canada. It's very lyrical. Caroline from Canada.
Hey, y'all. Caroline from Canada calling. Long-time listener, second time calling. So remember how Mary had to bring in an accountant and show all of her books to prove that she was giving the right amount of money to Cody and Robin's so-called family fund? I wonder where she got the idea that she could possibly not be giving in enough. Could that possibly have been Janelle? Thinking she was holding back, especially now that she started this nonsense with regards to taking the money and run. And second little conspiracy theory I just thought of tonight, listening to how Robin basically confirmed she had something to do with the catfish issue. Again, bring up that dreaded crap. Sorry. I wonder how much Robin's mother played into it, seeing as her mother seemed to have taught her everything she knows, and she had all these other people helping her try and get things done with regards to Mary and the catfish. Wonder if Robin's mother helped her out with some ideas on that one. What y'all think?
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know why Janelle, you messed up, girl. You messed up because I didn't even think about that. But Carolyn from Canada, I hate to say this shit. I do. Trust me when I say this. I hate to say this. But Carolyn from Canada might be on to something. Sometimes you just pick, you know. Oops. Because Janelle may not have been in a meeting, but Cody might have ran that past Janelle because she's supposedly the bookkeeper and she's the one keeping up with how much everybody's contributing. And it would make sense because Cody doesn't have the time nor patience, dare I say intelligence, to actually go through the books that way where he's looking at it and seeing how much money is coming in. And he wouldn't have any idea of like how much Janelle contributed or how much he could have contributed or whatever case may be, or, you know, the money's falling off. So I don't know. Because it does, because if you step back, doesn't it sound a little bit weird that Mary was the only one who got approached by Cody and Robin about the money? Maybe they approached all of them and said, this is what you, Janelle, Christine, that's what y'all need to do. Or after Christine left, they wanted to like have a culling and try to figure out how much everybody was given. So it would be on Janelle. My question would be to Janelle: did they make you get a accountant to prove how much you were donating? Because Janelle's making money off Plexus. You know, so Cody and them aren't asking, like, Mary's money, outside money, is coming from those MLMs. You know, I think she was in Live, then she was in I'm about to call it Short Pants, but it's not Short Pants. It's LuLaRoe. You know, and she's like making money from that, and then the fact that they're like, yeah, Mary, you need to get a accountant. It's a little weird that she's the only one who said that. And Janelle didn't come right back and be like, I did it too. I mean, it is what it is. We just wanted to figure out where all the money was at. So Cody came to me and asked me too. So let me ask that as a poll. That is, Caroline from Canada. That shit is diabolical. That's straight up diabolical. Whoa. Could you imagine? Janelle, was you wrapped up in that bullshit? Oh, that's diabolical. What are we doing, guys? I hope that's not the I want to ask that as a poll. Oh, I never thought about that shit. Oh, hold on. Let me get this up. I'm gonna ask it straight up. Do you think Janelle was in on do you think Janelle wanted Mary to get an accountant to prove donations to the family? There you go. That shit is crazy. I don't know, man. Oh, wow. Baby. That would be, woo-hoo. If that came out, Janelle, they just sank your battleship, girl. You in trouble. If that ever came out that you was a party to that would be the straw that broke the camel's back. Let's go to Candace. Let that populate.
Hey, James, this is Candace. This is my first one. I came in a little hot last week on Suki, so I apologize if I was offended anybody, but I did pretty much mean what I said about that, but I probably could have said it in a much more respectable way. Anyway, talking about this, the third or fourth, the last one, I'm to the point now where I'm good if this show ends because there's just nothing more. There's no more life to it. And they just dragged this out and milked it out as far as I think they could. And the only reason it's continuing is it's pretty much a hate watch show. And I'm ready to just move on from it. And I'm sure a lot of people are because there's just nothing left. Pretty much just the narrative is from Cody. If they continue a season 21 is going to be, it's everybody's fault, but I apologize, but it's still your fault.
Yeah.
And Robin's just going to Robin. She's not going to change. And she's just going to keep on with her narrative of, I did everything. I'm wonderful. And I got kicked off the Brown Island and nobody understands how wonderful I was. I'm tired of that. She can go. I'm done with her. And Anyway, I'm going to call him for a second one.
All right. Let's go to Candace's second one.
Hey, James, Candace number 2. And as far as Mary, you know, I believe she is moving on with her life. She has seems like she's doing good. But the fact that she still says that she is open to being friends and talking to Cody and Robin at the end of the 4th, tell nothing really. I just can't help but roll my eyes at that. I'm just like, girl, these people don't give a damn about you. I don't believe he ever gave a damn about Mary. So people that are trying to take you down and destroy you and drag you for filth and whatever, I don't get it. But be friends with them if you want to be friends. That's on you. But honestly, stay with the friends you have, Mary, and stay away from those demons. And then Christine, really nothing's going on there. She's just gonna renovate her basement, I guess, and do her thing with David. And there's not a whole lot interesting going on there. They're just living their life, and I don't really see anything too interesting that's show worthy there. And as far as Janelle, Janelle's doing her Tata Farm thing and whatever. I don't think that's interesting TV. And Janelle's going to
Hold on one second.
Hey, James, this is my Candace number 3. Getting back to Janelle, I believe, like everybody is saying on your channel, a lot of us are saying, we believe that Janelle's going to, as soon as Robin leaves him, she's going back to him. So I believe her house is built on the North Carolina Tata Farms, and she just better have a nice room ready for Cody, his workout room, and have a nice king size bed or whatever, and a nightstand for him. Just get it all ready for him, because that woman's going to take him back, I believe, if she can. And once the money runs out, he's a parasite. He's going to look for somebody to latch onto. And I think Janelle's going to feel sorry for him and whatever. That's kind of what I predict could happen. I hope not. I hope Janelle's really done with him, but I question. And as far as Mary too, she'll feel sorry for him if she stays friendly with him, if he's like down on his luck and Robin, leaves him and takes all the money with her. Well, there's not going to be any money. But if she's going to continue being friends with Cody, she better have her bank check ready to go and have all the account numbers for him to pillage. So that's where this is going to go if they continue to associate with him.
Yeah, I agree. The one thing I will say, though, is that where Janelle has to be worried, I saw the house that she built up. I saw the house. And it's a decent looking house. It's a nice looking house. But Cody went from a contemporary house, which was the mansion, to another contemporary mansion in the $2.1 million shit show chateau, Cinder Palace. So I don't know if he's willing to go back to a house, because the house that Janelle built is maybe a little smaller. It looks like it might be a little smaller than the houses in Vegas, but it's not what Cody likes. It's not in the main part of town. It's not in a big town. It's not attached to a big city. So the one thing that I would be concerned about if I was Janelle and trying to re-hook up with Cody is that if you hook up with Cody, here's my prediction. Because I agree with Megatron, and I agree with what Candace is saying, what a lot of you guys were saying. When Robin leaves him, he's going to look for a lifeline, especially if his pockets are hurt. He's going to look for a lifeline. The easiest lifeline is to reach towards Janelle. The problem is, and this is where my prediction starts, is that if he gets with Janelle lets him back in, the first thing he's going to try to do is get her to sell that property. The first thing he's going to do is try to get her to sell that property. The first thing he's going to do is try to get her to sell that property. because he doesn't want to live in North Carolina. He doesn't want to live, even though it's 152 acres, it's 152 acres of land in a small town. That's why they were able to get 152 acres. It's not 152 acres in Las Vegas or in Arizona, Flagstaff, Arizona. And I'm not shooting shots at small towns, southern towns. My family is from my ancestral home is from, on my mother's side, is from a small town in Atlanta, not too far from in North and South Carolina. So I'm not throwing no shade on that at all. I had some of the best times I had as a child were down there in that small southern town. I'm not throwing no shots at all. I'm just saying that I recognize when you live the way he lives, a guy who buys a bunch of Rolexes, Movado watches, guy who's sitting there having to drive a Mercedes AMG, has to push, barely got money for bills, but he has a convertible Lexus with 13 kids and a motorcycle. That guy is not trying to move to small town America. So again, if Janelle takes him back and we say that Maddie and them's going to be mad, the reason why Maddie and them's going to be mad for real, is because the first thing Cody's going to try to do is talk them into selling that land. Well, then you need to buy Janelle out of her share so we can go and live our lives and be happy. Because I got an angle on a house in Hollywood. And he'll move to California, sell that land down there in sell that land in North Carolina for like $1 million, go to California and be able to rent a studio apartment. Because the housing market in California and New York is like that. You know what I mean? $4,000 a month. You got a 1-bedroom apartment in Manhattan. In New York, $4,000 a month. Shit, you're not even in a nice neighborhood in LA. So and you got a roommate. So yeah. But let's go to Candace. Candace's last message.
Hey, James, this is Candace, number 4. This should be it. But what I would love to see for season 21, I would love to see them go bankrupt, Cody and Robin. I would love to see the repo man coming, taking everything they got. I would love to see that artwork leaving, all those dolls coming out of that house. I would love to see those cars getting taken away by the repo man. I am here for that. But of course, we're never going to see it because Cody's still, they're propping Cody up like he's this wonderful thing. So I think they're going to wrap it up nicely, making Cody look like a great guy. And he's we all know he's a piece of shit. And yeah, that's about it. I have been hearing rumors that season 21 may be about Cody and Robin trying to find another wife, like a seeking sister wife situation, which is ridiculous. Who would want to be with them? But there are stupid women that want to, be on these shows. So you never know, but it's going to all be fake ass stuff. And nobody cares about Robin's children. Nobody wants to see Aurora getting married or whatever. Like, it's just too contrived and fake at this point that none of it's authentic. So anyway, I'm pretty much done if it ends here. All right. What do you think? Bye-bye.
I don't disagree. I think that the show is pretty much, I said that last season. Like, after season, I think it was season 18, I might have started calling it. Yeah, I just didn't see the the production side of it. I didn't see where the show could go functionally. And I was hoping they would prove me wrong, but they have not. They have not. Because it's too complicated. And nobody on the show, none of the cast members actually want to get into their real truths. And by real truth, that means not just showing us the highlight reel, but you have to show us the working reel, like the part where you work, you struggle, you disagree, the conflicts, not just the celebrations. They're not willing to show us that because they want to keep coming off as perfect. And so if that's the case, the show doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I mean, and that's not just a shot at the sister wives. That's any show. If you look at a show, you be like, how many times have you been watching a movie or a TV show and you say, why did that guy do that? Or why did she do that? That was dumb. That was a mistake. That, that's gonna ruin the situation, or that's gonna make things go a certain way, blah, blah, blah. Because they have to. That's the movie. That's the story. That's the conflict. Without a conflict, there is no story. And so I don't see where the wives could have a real conflict with each other. Because even with the catfish stuff, like I said before, the catfish stuff, if Cody and Robin's assessment of the situation was entirely true and accurate, at this point, what difference does it make? If Jen, Janelle came out and said that rat bastard Jen, she came out and told Mary to pack all the money and leave and take the money with you. And, oh my goodness, it's terrible. Janelle, that was like, everybody has left the family at this point. What difference does it make? Mary had a horrible breakup with Cody. So it actually makes Jen look like a genius if she told Mary to pack your shit up, steal all your money, take all the money you can, and leave his ass. That would actually make Jen look like a genius. Like she's actually, forsooth, you know what I mean? Some kind of soothsayer, some kind of prediction person, psychic or whatever. So but at Rubber Road, who cares? They had a disagreement 35 years ago because Janelle married into a family, and she was married to Mary's brother, and they were going to get married on Mary's birthday. Yeah, disgusting, jacked up, but who cares? It was like 35 years ago when they first met. None of them are even together anymore. Who cares? So these are some of the problems. Like, even though they bring it up and they try to present it like it's an issue, it's a non-issue. And that's what I was saying as far as stakes. There's no stakes in the game because the things that are happening won't change anybody's life. If you watch any story or movie you watch, the higher the stakes, the better the movie is. If a situation happens and, I have to get to school, and if I don't study tonight, I'm going to fail this test. But it really doesn't matter because I already got my acceptance in the college I want to go to, and I'm going to graduate, and I have like an extremely high GPA. So high, in fact, I could not take another class or completely fail this test, and I'm still going to pass the class. I'm still going to graduate. And then they make a movie about me missing a homework assignment. Who gives a shit, right? But if they make a movie about a life or death situation where your choices, good or bad, could change or alter the rest of the course of your life or take your life, and that would impact other people in a deep, meaningful way, right? That's a blockbuster. That's when you go up on the stage and you thank your family and God and everybody else for the hardware you're about to take home in the form of an Oscar. That's how that works. So the stakes matter. And in watching this show, there are no stakes. Because who gives a shit? Like, I don't like Cody anymore. Who cares? You're not married to him. Christina has a whole ass husband at home. Who cares if you get along with Cody? Who cares if you ever talk to him again? If he said that, I'll never speak to him again. Who cares? Janelle and Mary don't get along. Who cares? They're on opposite sides of the country. You don't like each other, you never have to talk to each other. You don't ever have to talk to each other again. Just saying. But next we got Tanya Carter. Miss Carter.
I just don't understand how Robin can feel so comfortable sitting on the couch bringing up the catfish unless she knows that Mary signed an NDA to never talk about the truth behind the catfish, and that she knows, and we all know, that she orchestrated it and was behind it. Because for years, the internet has been saying it's Robin. Robin was best friends with Kendra. Kendra said the catfish was real. She wouldn't say that unless she was involved. We all know that Mary said it. Robin was everything she told Robin. The catfish would know. So we all know, okay? The only reason why Robin, because if I were Robin, I would be terrified to ever say the word catfish in case one of the producers decides they want to throw my ass under the bus for ratings, and now it's all boom out there. But she's so confident to sit there and bring up the catfish, and she has nothing to be mad at me about, and I had her back. You can only be that confident if somebody signed an NDA and you know this shit ain't ever gonna come out that it was you. I mean, as Negatron, it's not Negatron, as my girl Negla would say, am I wrong?
There you go. Negla getting his shout out. No, you're not wrong. Yeah, I said that shit earlier. Like, I would never. You couldn't get me to talk about no damn catfish. Be at the barbecue, be like, what y'all got? We got burgers, we got chicken, got some rubs. You know, Betty Sue, she made her deep fried catfish. We don't talk catfish around here. You know what I mean? We don't talk catfish in these pots. Are you crazy? No, thank you. You would never catch me talking about no catfish. I'd be shutting that shit down. If anything, if I was Robin, I would be defending Mary. You know what I mean? That horrible person did that to my Mary. Some of my bitch. Yeah, terrible person. You want to get me on tape? Yeah, she told her. Mary did this and that. Let's talk about the catfish. No, let's not talk about that. That was a dark time. We're not going to talk about her dark times. Let's go to Tanya 2.
And then the last thing, somebody had said that on one of these channels that McKelty said that they stopped filming like 6 months ago. They didn't do any more filming appearance, and that she thinks there definitely will only be one more season if there is another season. I feel like we ended the season Sunday. Like, everybody sat there and said they have nothing to apologize for. They don't need an apology. Cody doesn't want to talk about anybody anymore, doesn't want them talking about him. Everybody seems good. All the women are happy with, how Cody and Robin screwed them over, and, they seem to be good with it. And Robin stands 10 toes down that she didn't do anything wrong. She was the epitome of perfection. Cody, he sat there and basically said, he didn't know jack shit. And, the ladies, sorry, not sorry. He's moving on with his lady love, and everybody needs to stop talking shit about him. So everybody's good, it seems like everybody's fine. I would be popping tires on my way out. If you took several 100,000 from me, but that's just me. They're all good with it.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing too. It's I agree with that. Because I was saying that too. Like, I think it's one of the harder, more complicated things is that I feel like I'm taking this way more personally than y'all taking it. You know what I mean? They stole hundreds of $1,000s from you, and you're not mad. You're okay with it. Then who the hell am I to be pissed? You know what I mean? It's like that. So it's contradictory. It's counterintuitive for even the fans of the show. Like, I want to have you back. And to be honest with you, that was one of the things that kind of turned me off early on with Mary, is that she had started out and she took the position that when people would come up to her and say, Cody did this, Cody did that, girl, I got your back. He's not treating you good. He's treating you bad, blah, 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 blah. She would always come out and be like, y'all don't know my life. Stop coming to me with that crap, because I don't want to hear these bad things about Cody and you can't tell me bad stuff about them. It's like, okay, all right, I'm not gonna say shit about you, well, you're right. and then one of the challenges that I have is that when people are trying to support you, you smash them down, you break them up, and you say mean and nasty shit to them. But then when you're ready to receive that support, then all of a sudden it's y'all supposed to, have my back and be ready to go to war because my feelings is hurt. You got to pick a side of the street and walk on it. So, and this is also one of the weird things that I was saying before too, is that, when they consider after the show is over, we're going to come out and we're going to do a tell-all book. Here's the thing. If any of these ladies, Janelle, Mary, any of them, even Cody and Robin, you guys want to do a tell-all book, Christine? You want to do another tell-all book? You better come out and start telling now. Because when this show ends, nobody's going to give a shit. This is your time to come out and tell your story. If you wait for the show to be over, all it looks like is a freaking money grab. It can be easily dismissed. 1, 2, it also is representative of the fact that the interest is not there. Because your show would not get canceled if people were still interested in it. And for those who don't believe that the show would ever get canceled because of disinterested parties, people are not interested in it, you have to keep in mind that in season 17, they had a huge spike. They were at one point, they were averaging around $3 to $4 million views per week in season 17 when Christine announced that she was leaving. Currently in season 20, they are down as far as viewership, almost 58%. In some cases, some markets like 60, 70%. They're down. Their average, they went from millions of people watching each week to a couple 100,000 people watching each episode. And that's a huge dip, especially when you take into account that the cast members are demanding $1 million per season. They're pricing themselves out of a show. So, yeah, when this show is over, it's over. So whatever they got to say, they need to come out and say it now while the light is still on you. You don't wait till they shut the lights out, turn the mics off, and then all of a sudden you want to give a speech. It's too late. So I agree with what Tanya said. We had some super chats come in. Let's check those. We had Jody Periscala with the $4.99 super chat. Said, I have the Catfish book in PDF. She told them things. I have some details, others don't. I saw some of the Catfish book. I did read some of the Catfish book. And that's why I'm saying like that shit was. Not only did I see the Catfish stuff, I also heard, because I was getting into it and I like more information. And so I went down kind of the rabbit hole on some of this stuff. I also heard the voicemail messages. Okay, they're because the Catfish recorded the voicemail messages and some of the conversations between themselves and Mary. And those conversations were pretty explicit. So, and I've also seen the pictures, like the banana pictures. So I'm just saying, like when I hear Mary say that he was just a friend, I'm grown, dog. Been grown a long time. And I'm grown enough to know that the stuff you were saying is not stuff friends say to each other. That's that's my friend. That's what you say. That's the equivalent of what Mary was doing as far as like her conduct with the Catfish would be like a guy in his house come home early and his wife jumping out of bed buck ass naked with his friend in the bed buck ass naked, and he talking about, oh, we was just playing, we was wrestling, we was playing, he just my friend, we ain't nothing serious going on. And they usually throw in like, he gay, he he don't even like girls. You know what I mean? Everybody necking and shit. You know, it's pretty like it is deeper, and I don't understand why, because that information, it's not a secret to Mary that stuff is out there. And when you hear the voicemail tapes, you can recognize Mary's voice and things she's saying to this dude or to this person. So, yeah. Like it's kind of like the thing we were saying about Robin. Like, that we know about this stuff. The information's out there. Why would you even fix your mouth to tell a lie? Because it'll just make people look. So I agree with Jody. But let me give you a little something, Jody. I'm right there with you, Jody. Then we have Jody Periscala with the $4.99 super chat. Said last post. There's a YouTuber, there's YouTube that has interview and then talks to Jackie on the phone. I'm just throwing info out. I am not promoting anything. That's fine. I don't care. More information is more information. People want to look. The information's out there. I always say this. More information is better than low information or no information. So if you want to talk about a thing, talk about it intelligently. That's what I say. So, yeah, I'm not insulted by that. But thank you so much, Jody. You know what? Jody, if you want to send me that PDF, maybe we'll do a book club on that. What? Maybe we'll do a book club on that. Jody, send me that PDF, girl. Maybe we'll do a book club on that. Holla at your boy. Here, let's give Jody a little something. That's your boy. A book club on the catfishing.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
That way we can speak about it intelligently. No more ducking our head in the sand. We can face it for what it is. That shit is so ugly. Yeah, some of that stuff. I need a brainwash for some of that. Because I just, it's one of them things where I looked because I was curious and because I wanted to get more information on it to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And if I want to be all the way honest, part of the reason why I looked at it and listened to a lot of this stuff wasn't because I was trying to dig up dirt on Mary or even wade into it real deep. But when Mary came out and took the position that she did nothing wrong, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way because that's not what I was feeling instinctually. Like it just went against that doesn't make sense. So I went about the business of trying to gather information to establish whether my instincts were wrong or if they were justified. And that's what made me look. And that's what made me kind of go down the rabbit hole. And this is what I'm saying. This is the danger of you denying things and lying about things or being dishonest about things that you don't have to be dishonest about. If you made a mistake, you made a mistake. Just own it and we can move on. But when you're sitting there denying it, now all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, she said she didn't do it. So, I'm going to look and I'm going to find information and we're going to cut through the crap. And if I'd have went into the thing and I'd have found that, what Mary was saying to this guy that she's supposedly talking to, this person she's talking to, that it was innocuous and not serious. It was in a friendly manner. It was just as she described it. He's threatening her and she's not, I would be the first person to stand there and make videos about it and proclaim it and talk about it and say, this shit is wrong. Mary is right. She's innocent. She's being victimized and she needs to be vindicated. But the same time, it's like, if I look and I find things that don't support your story, I'm also going to have to talk about that too. Right? Integrity. But thank you very much, Jody Periscala, for pointing that out. Yeah, because there's a ton of information. And I think that, to Jody's point, there's a ton of information out there. This isn't just a he said, she said situation. Jody Periscala is 100% right. There's a shit ton, a metric shit ton of information that's out there that does not require you to go back and, believe this one or believe that one. There's a bunch of stuff out there. But let's go to Lauren. Oh shit, what the hell? Okay, let's go to Lauren.
Hey, James. Okay, so this will be part 1. So this tell-all was pretty good. I enjoyed it this time. I'm going to start with Mary because Mary was awesome, and I'm glad that Jen was there as well. Jen seems to give Mary that extra confidence to speak more about everything. So, and there were times where Mary was holding back, but she stopped herself and continued on. So that was great to see. Christine, same place, same mindset. She's clearly moved on and she's just unbothered. And I like that she doesn't take Cody seriously, that she said that. That was great. Janelle, I'm very disappointed with her. I understand she may see all sides and she's very open-minded, but it would be nice to pick a lane. Every once in a while anyway, right? Robin showed her ass with confusion. Picture that. So she just does, yeah, she's just all over the place, but she was a little snarky and bitchy this time. Cody was surprisingly better, a little bit more engaged, and there was one part he was just a little off the rails there, but he still remained engaged and kept talking, so that was good. All right, on to part 2.
All right. Let's jump over to part 2.
Hey, James. Okay, this is part 2 to my part 1. I didn't leave my name on the last one, but my name is Lauren, so hopefully this helps. Okay, so recently I've been watching Breaking Bad. I know, hear me out. I know this may be irrelevant, but hear me out. So Marie Schrader is Robin Brown. I mean, I want to say is, but there's some similarities. But if you check out like her home and just her whole persona, it just kind of reminds me of Robin Brown. So there's that. Also, the actor Aaron Paul that plays Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad as well, he was on a separate show called The Hot Ones. And I noticed that he had the same horsey ring that Cody has. He's wearing on his right hand on his ring finger. Like I said, I know it's irrelevant, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. And yeah, it's just an observation that I made. So thank you for listening. All right, bye.
All right, Lauren, thank you so much for calling in. That first time call. Let's give her a little something. Great job. Give her a lot of somethings. Yeah, the only thing like I would say, oh, thank you, Jody. I appreciate it. You might do a book club on that. Shit. I still got plans for that channel, but beyond sister wise. But yeah, I think that'll be interesting. Oh, okay, that's not that bad. 100 pages. I can do that. Knock that out. Oh, you sent it to me already. Oh, okay. I don't remember seeing it. But thank you, Jody. I appreciate it. You know what? Maybe he did send it to me. We're mid-season. Jody Periscala, $1.99 super chat said, I did. She's like, I'm already on that, James. You late. You late to the party, playboy. You late to the party, playboy. Give Jody a little something. Hey, that shit could be cool. I don't know. I'm kind of torn about it because I feel like I'm beating up on Mary, but I don't want to beat up on Mary. Yeah. But it is interesting though. Yeah, but then again, at the same time, like we were saying, if they don't care what I care about, why am I sitting up here being Mr. Morals, Ethics, and Virtue and shit? Oh, I'm gonna be a stand-up person. And they like, I don't care. I don't care about that, James. You do what you gotta do, player. The only thing I would say, like with regard to like Christine stand up for herself saying that, she doesn't care about Cody because Cody's small. I get that. And I can see that being a beneficial thing to say that you don't feel like you don't have to respond to him. The only thing I would say is being a public figure whose ability to do business, get business, and find opportunity relies on your reputation. You don't let people slander your reputation. Like she's not, you saying something when you're in a position like Christine about some shit that Cody's leveling at you. It's not you crawling down to his level for you to defend yourself. It's you protecting your brand and your ability to make your money and take care of your family, especially because, your kid's father ain't doing shit for you. So you need to be able to protect and defend yourself. And so if that means that you got to call him out on his stuff and say, nope, that's not what happened. This is what happened. This is what it is. You know what I mean? I can understand you saying I'm not going to sit up here and argue with him back and forth because that's a waste of time trying to change his mind. But I'm going to set the record straight. Like I say that. Like set the record straight. But yeah, I agree with Loren. Let's go to and 2 and 1 first, but then we'll go to and 2, y'all. Don't jump the gun.
Hi, James. This is Ann giving my quick take on Sister Wives. As part 4 of the reunion, Tell Nothing, is complete, one thing that is really sticking out to me, and it's actually, to me, I think it's really sad, is watching all of the wives and their mental capacity. They seem like they are mentally stunted between middle school and high school. And I'm watching Mary. You're in your 50s. Janelle is in her 50s. Christine is in her 50s. Robin is in her late 40s. But they behave like women who are actually children, like they're in middle school and high school. And that is a product of the polygamous cult that they were a part of. And it's really sad to watch. I'm listening to Mary. Suki is asking her specific questions about Robin and the catfish. She's scared to tell her story, but then she keeps telling us she's not going to be silent. Girl, say how you genuinely feel. If you feel that Robin was a part of that catfish, say it all. Because if you intend to have a successful show going forward, all of them need to be honest and need to give us a story to watch. Because right now we're seeing women who behave like children. We see a man who is erratic. And this is not good TV.
I think that's fair. But I would say like, the promise that I will not be silenced anymore. They will not be able to hush my mouth. They will not be able to shut me up or shut me down ever again. Like that kind of talk makes me think that you fitting to come out and do something wild. Like you about to get reckless. When you start saying, no, I will no longer be silenced, that means you about to start talking. Nobody wants to hear you say all that shit. And then when you get asked questions, you hush mouth. If you aren't going to be silenced, that's fine. But if you ain't going to say shit, shut up about not saying nothing. If you're not going to say anything about it, don't say shit. Because I mean, I'm just there. Like, that's where I'm at. If you're not going to say nothing, then fine. Don't say nothing. Just take it. I will no longer be silenced. I will use my voice and all the power it dictates and commands. Cool. Get out there and do you, boo-boo. But don't sit up there and promise, oh, yeah, you say that, I'm going to tear this whole place up. They just did it again. Well, I mean, you know, peace is the answer for the world today. Like, don't do that shit. Don't be that person. Because you get people's expectations up that you're going to start standing up for yourself. And for you to say that I will not be silenced, I will not be this, and I will not be that, then they come out and heap a whole truckload of bullshit on you. And all you can do is turn around and say, yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to address it. They don't have to silence you. Why did you even bother not signing the NDA? Why did you hold your money up? In that case, this is what I'm talking about, like retroactive justification. In that case, Janelle is right. Like, why are you not signing the NDA so I can get paid and move on with my life? You ain't going to say shit anyway. It's just codified that you're going to shut the hell up. Just sign the damn papers so we can get it done. Now you're just being difficult. That's kind of, you know what I mean? That's where it gets kind of, I don't know. But when you say typos are strong tonight, typos are strong in the force this evening. Wait, what's this? Oh, Misty Lane said Grace Lovely had a recent episode that Mary called into. Mary said that she is coming out with a book, but it won't be a spill the tea type book. It will be about her healing process and her ability to worthy up. I'm not buying a brochure for your business. Excuse me. And I will not be doing because if you notice, Christine's book, I didn't even do a damn book club on that. I'm not above doing book clubs. I like book clubs. I like getting in the text. I like getting in the literature, right? I enjoy that, right? But her book was light. And so I didn't do a book club on Christine's book. I'm not doing a book on a person who still needs healing. I'm going to get in and talk about my healing process. What are you talking about? You still got loads of work to do. Then Pete said, I don't think a book about healing will be authentic. That's the problem. Yeah. Because it comes off, in fairness, it just comes off like a money grab. You know? And I think that that's part of the problem. It just comes off like a money grab. So it's not good advice because I just don't think it'll be received as well as she thinks. Like, this is that part where you start to discover that you're not as famous as you think. You know what I mean? That you have not made it. Yeah. We had a super chat from Just a Small Town Girl living in a lonely world with a $4.99 super chat. All right. Could we poll to see how many people plan to watch future seasons versus not watching at all or following through content creators? I'm so curious. Thanks, James. That is a good idea. I won't do it tonight, but I'll do it on my my Sunday show when I have a few more people. So that way we can get a better poll for it. But yeah, good idea. Good idea. Because I am kind of curious. Because I did ask that before, like how many people are done. You know what I mean? And that number was high. That number was high. And that's why I'm like, I keep saying to like the TLC interns, y'all need to listen when I'm telling you this. I'm a canary in the coal mine. I'm not the biggest, like I'm not an eagle in the coal mine or a hawk or, you know, a 6-foot bird. I'm the little itty bitty tiny canary. And I'm telling you that this show is about to implode because you guys is coming up short. You're not doing what you need to do to save this show. So let's get on it. Let's figure it out. But they're not going to listen. But thank you so much, Just a Small Town Girl. And I will be doing that poll. That's a good idea. Yeah, YouTube's my time machine. That's what I was saying. Like they rated from season 17 way down. Like season 17, that's when y'all negotiated those $1 million contracts. You guys about to be working for a bus pass. You understand what I mean? Like 2 coupons and a bus pass. The way this show is going. So figure it out. And that's what, like, some hard decisions are gonna have to be made around the old campfire with the sister wife crew. You know what I mean? I'm with you, Just a Small Town Girl. She said, I think it's cooked. You know what I mean? I think this show is cooked. Because I don't think they doing what they need to do. I don't think they're doing what they need to do. But we have Ann coming up.
Hi, James. This is Ann giving my quick take on Sister Wives.
Wait, actually, we did that one. We got another Ann coming up.
This is Ann again. This is a quick part 2 to my previous message. Because as we watch these women that are in their late 40s to mid to early 50s resemble or have the mental capacity of a teenager, and they have children, grandchildren, and then you see the trickle down effect even on their kids. We talk about Robin's daughters in particular and how she's raising them to be mentally stunted, and it's just, to me, it's just absolutely sad. Nothing about polygamy screams this is something that anyone should do. People have, of course, their personal choices, but I don't see the benefits of it. I really do not. And also for Janelle, yes, Robin and Cody in production, they're throwing her under the bus, but she's helping them. She's not making anything better for herself. And we just now really see the true Janelle, since there's no cover with other members of the family, like particularly the kids, OG kids. But I also wanted to know, what do you plan on doing with your channel now that Sister Wives is over? Because I definitely like this channel. I like this community. So curious to see what your next steps are with the channel. Thank you.
All right. We have easy peasy. I agree with you. With the next steps of the channel, there are some things that I wanted to start covering. I started pulling some body cam footage stuff, like some commentary on like some crazy situations that I saw as far as that was concerned. But I had some Reddit stories, as well as some stories that came from TikTok that I have put into story format. And I was going to comment on those types of interpersonal dynamic relationship issues that I noted from those stories, so that we can continue the conversation. A lot of what I do as far as Sister Wives is concerned isn't just about these particular people, but how these people connect to other situations or circumstances. And so I was just going to continue along with those type of conversations moving forward. You know, so because the only thing, like, I would like to do another show, but the problem with especially a lot of the TLC stuff, if I want to be honest, it's so heavily produced. Whereas before, you would have a circumstance or an issue that involves people and how they react to that issue, circumstance, or situation. Now, TLC has shifted the model to we just want to present these people and we're just going to create something for them to do while they're on the show. But the people, the stars or the cast are the point. They're the product that they're trying to sell, not their situations, not their stories, not the realism of their lives, none of that. Because I've seen where, especially on 90 Day Fiance, somebody will have, you know, they'll have like a strong belief system one way, and that creates a conflict or a problem. And then the very next appearance they have on the series, they're the exact opposite person, the exact opposite position. And it's not just like a change of heart or a change of mind. It's literally just what works because you want to get them back on the show. So even with 90 Day Fiance, you have it because the people would get married and then they will break up. And because you have people on the show who haven't been appeared in a while or haven't been around or they're popular, you start to pair them off so that way you can keep them coming back on the show. Like, for instance, I think in upcoming episodes of Single Life, they have Pedro, who is married to Chantel. He's supposedly hooking up with Rob's ex, Sophie, and they're having a big conflict and stuff. But Sophie and Chantel were supposed to be friends. The shit is like crazy messy, and it just doesn't seem real. It just seems like they're putting them together because they want to bring them back onto the show. And it's easier for them to recycle cast members because you're already familiar with the cast members and their stories and you know people that you may like and be on their side. So you just recycle them and you put them together and then you just create a story around them. And then the stories are like super light, transparent, and thin that really doesn't sustain a season. But again, it's just a way for them to be on TV. And with Sister Wives, it's kind of the same thing. It's just less apparent because they have been around for so long. But even with like the Amish show, it just feels like you have people who want to be social media influencers or personalities who get on these shows so that they can increase their Instagram following or their Twitter following so that they can pursue those careers and start getting ad revenue as well as brand deals, you know? And they're not really interested in becoming Amish. Like one of the young ladies, she shows up to join the Amish faith, and because I want to give up being a OnlyFans model, and she refuses to give up makeup or fake eyelashes. And the Amish people are like, "Okay, we'll let you keep it for a week." And they sneak her out so she can make phone calls. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not how the Amish work. They don't, oh, yeah, you know, you keep your cell phone. Hell, if you real Amish, because I grew up in Pennsylvania. Like, I'm from Pennsylvania. And we used to go to Lancaster when I was a kid. We used to go out to Lancaster all the time because they had, like, restaurants and stuff out there. We used to go out there all the time. I've seen Amish. Been behind them, clickety clocking and stuff on highways and shit, holding up traffic because they out there on the horses and buggies. They serious about that shit. They are not playing. They not doing play. They dead ass about that stuff. They do not believe in technology. They do not believe in technology at all. So the fact that you're on like you're supposed to be filming, they won't let you onto their land carrying cameras and stuff. They are dead ass about that. Dead ass about no, we don't do technology. No, you can't come here and film us. You know, if you want to watch us and you're going to, you know, come on our land, like they're nice enough, I guess. I haven't really had any issues with them. And technically, they don't even do issues. They don't do problems. You never heard like it was a gang of Amish people jump somebody at the Piggly Wiggly. Like, that ain't a thing. Like, these are different people. And so for you to show up and talk about, I'm not going to let the world go, where they have that, I forget what they call it, Ramashana. What the hell is that shit called? Rumshala or some shit, where you grow up Amish and they give you a chance to go into the world and figure out whether you want to do it and you can come back. But when you come back, you have to forsake the modern world. You can't come back with a cell phone and tattoos and shit. Like, like I want to join the covenant. Like, that's not a thing. So there's no way they would let it happen. So it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm not even trying to bash the show. It's just that it feels like they're just trying to come up with stuff to get us to watch. Oh, the mafia. Yeah, they did have like a little. They did have like a couple members. They went Rumspringer. That's what it is, Rumspringer. They had some people that went off and they created connections, and they tried to run pharmaceuticals out of the off the thing. But yeah, once they got shunned. Like, they did not play that shit. So yeah, Rumspringer. Yeah, I was like, what the Rumspringer? Yeah, Rumspringer. But yeah, so it's just weird to me. Like, I want to do a TLC show because it's functionally is easier because you can just talk about the production stuff that's there, but they're just not there anymore. It just feels dishonest a lot of the times. That makes sense. But Janet.
Hey James, this is Janet. I wanted to just chat a little bit about an older episode, which I had never seen the full episode before, but it's when Truly was in the hospital with kidney failure, and that was a rough watch. I didn't watch the whole episode. I just watched about a 20-minute clip of like the highlights of what happened. It just kind of popped up on my YouTube, and one thing I noticed, this isn't to like blame Robin because the person who's most responsible would be Cody because he's Truly's dad, but I did find it very interesting that like how severe that situation was. Even if they played up something for the camera, like you always got to take that into account. But like, no, if she was on dialysis, like that is, I'm a nurse. That's scary. Like, I'm not. You don't need to be a nurse to know that, but like, that's absolutely terrifying. Like, that's bad. It's if she's on dialysis for dehydration, it's bad. And I noticed that when they're talking about it in the little like talking heads, Robin's not crying. And I couldn't help but notice that and how strange it was because the situation was so severe that she cries at everything, and I do too, but she wasn't crying.
Yeah, because they don't give a shit. Like Robin only cries. The thing with Robin and Cody only cry when they get some advantage from their display of emotion. That's the only time they cry. And usually it's when they're trying to get somebody to feel bad for them or recognize that they are giving generous people emotionally. But for the most part, they don't cry. If it's something that solely has to do with somebody else and it doesn't affect them personally, or it could be a thing that would make somebody look too good, all of a sudden if they were involved with it, then they don't cry. If anything, she might get defensive, especially if it came out that like Cody didn't do something or something makes Cody look bad and by default makes her look bad or just makes her look bad in general, then she'll sit there and cry about that shit. But yeah, Robin's 100%. But Let's go to Janet 2.
Hey James, it's Janet with part two, just referencing that old episode. So, yeah, in the Talking Heads, Robin's not crying, and neither is Cody. I'm not saying Cody didn't cry at all in the episode. I think there's clips of him being teary, but what I found like really, really shocking about that is, um, Robin cries at a lot of things. I'm not judging that. I'm a crier. I actually think that a lot of Robin's tears are, this might be an unpopular opinion. I think a lot of Robin's tears are actually her crying, where she's not, I don't think that she's faking it all the time. I think a lot of time, she actually is emotional and crying. But the things that she seems to be emotional about are things that only affect her
Mm,
and or people talking about her.
right.
And I'm sure she has feelings for other people too, but it's strange. Like it's strange how severe that situation was with Truly. And when you see other like talking heads about like very minor things relatively, um like she's bawling her eyes out and like nothing. Like no, no tears, not like pretend tears, fake tears, nothing. Truly almost died, and Cody still didn't go to the hospital that night with Christine, which is crazy. Like she's
Yeah, that whole thing. If you are when you're on dialysis, that's because you don't have kidney function. Like that shit is crazy. That is crazy. For her to be that young and to have kidney failure at like she was like what 2-3 years old, something like that. For her to have kidney failure, like y'all messed up. Especially with a house full of adults, y'all should be scared. I mm. Especially they all supposed to have these relationships with the law where they were always afraid that the police will come and they found out about Cody, they gonna come and take Cody away. And they gonna separate the kids and we ain't never gonna be able to see each other again. You show up to the hospital and your kid is suffering from dehydration to the point where they have to put your child on dialysis. You talk about losing your kids. Like you are in trouble. Like I don't know. Like they didn't talk. They never talked about like the interviews with CPS. But somebody had it. Somebody talked to the. Somebody was talking. Somebody had to talk to the people. Somebody had to say something. I mean, just I'm not saying it was going to lose Truly and all that, but somebody doing the interview, especially when they find out how many kids they got. They got how many kids? How many kids are you responsible for? And you taking care of them like this? Yeah, we're gonna have to send somebody out to the house. You know, we got to send somebody out to the crib. Because, yeah, this is not right. But thank you so much, Jan. Let's do Janet's last message.
Hi, James. This should be the last part, part three. It's Janet. And so when I was talking about people being emotional about things that are, about them versus if it involves somebody else, I'm not going to judge what people cry at. It sounds like I am, I know. But like, if you're crying at absolutely everything, but like your sister wives' daughter is in the hospital and she could die, you might know now that she hasn't. By the time they filmed the Talking Heads, I'm sure they knew that she hadn't died. But still, like just talking about the situation, like I was almost crying watching it. And it's crazy to me that neither of them were crying about it in the Talking Heads. And it just happened to show me a clip from something else. And what made me so mad was that when Robin changed her name for Christmas for Cody, he cried. And he
Yeah.
cried and cried and cried. And of course, like when he first met Robin, cried and cried and cried. And I think that they match each other. Like they cry about like their love for each other, but like your daughter's in the hospital. It's crazy that you didn't go there the night that she got brought to the hospital and Christine went alone. But wow, like it's just insane to me. Like you cried when she changed her name to Robin Ellis Brown, but Neither of you were crying when you're talking about how she almost died.
Yeah, yeah. Because that is the weird part, and I think that's why there's so much emphasis on the fact that, like, when you cut through the bullshit of her tears and what she cries about, like, oh, she could have emotions. Everybody pretend like Robin can't be sensitive. It's hard to imagine that you're sensitive. You cry about a wedding dress. You cry about coming into the family. You cry about, you changing your name and you changing your kid's name to the Browns. You cry about dumb shit, but you don't cry about almost losing a child in your family. You know what I mean? Like, if you listen to just the people on my show, like the people who call into my show or the people who comment in the comment sections, if you listen to what they say, they are touched by the event that occurred with Truly getting sick. They're touched by the event that occurred with Isabel and her back surgery. They're touched by these things, right? Big G's passing away. They're touched by these things. And for you guys to be able to get up and it not have any effect on you, and you're personally vested with these people, you have a personal interest with these people, a personal relationship with these people, and it doesn't affect you at all, but you're going to sit there boo-hoo and cry about bullshit. That's why nobody believes that you give a fuck, that you care. That's why nobody believes that you actually are that emotional. Because the emotionality that you show, we all know somebody who will cry at the drop of a hat. The weather changed, they crying. They go outside and the sun's shining, they crying. They crying because they crying. Like, we all know people like that. But the people that we know like that consistently for us in our experience, and I won't speak for everybody, me and my experience, when I've known people like that, if something tragic like that happened to a child, shit, they will cry for Truly, don't even know Truly. They'll openly weep for Truly because they cry. That's what they do. They get upset, they cry. They feel things very deeply, and they'll cry. But I don't know nobody that will cry over, you know, like they came outside, they looked at their car, they looked a little low, and they realized they tired, needed air. Oh, and they out there belly aching, rolling on the ground, crying. Like, your kid just got hit by a bus. Oh, my tire. Oh, I gotta go get some air in my tire. But your kid is, going to the emergency room. I mean, it is what it is. That's what happened. You play in the street. Streets are for cars, not for kids. Oh well. Like, it's just, it shit wouldn't match. And if they did that, we would look at it, or at least I would look at it and say, genuinely, they don't give a shit about that kid. You don't cry about things you don't care about if you're a crier. So it actually, here's the ironic part. It actually makes it worse. Because you know who else didn't cry? Janelle didn't cry. Mary didn't cry. Nobody coming down on them for not crying about Truly being in the hospital. But they also weren't sitting there at every opportunity trying to display emotions, trying to be emotional. You understand what I mean? The first time I really, 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 really genuinely saw Janelle cry, like breakdown cry, was when she got in that argument with Cody and she realized she ain't had no, like, her money has walked out the door with his ass. You know? And of course, like the stuff with Big G, like, I could see the pain in her when she was talking about, you break down, and her hesitance to ask certain questions because she didn't want to break down on camera. I get that. So, just saying. But Lizzie B said, I beg to differ. She always cries when it's convenient for her not to talk about something, when she is trying to shift blame, or when she wants something. Yeah, but it always centralizes around her. Like, she has to get something out of the tears. It's more of a Faustian trade. Like, she's, selling her soul to the devil. Like, I have to get something out of it in order for the deal to work. But we had a super chat come through from Perfumes All Life with a $4.99 super chat. Christine in her interviews with Book kept saying, "Why is show going? It needs to end." She said, "Just watch Cody apology." Is she filming for sake of others? I think she's filming because, like I said, I think that with a lot of them, their businesses and opportunities are tied to their ability to be on the show. Do you understand what I mean? Like, even with like rentals, think about like the rentals, the Airbnb rentals that she does. You can rent a house from when fans go to areas where she has a rental property and they want to support her. If she could tack on a surplus charge because she's renting to people and she's on TV. You know, if you have a choice between like renting David Woolley and Christine Woolley's Airbnb versus Joe Schmo down the street, and you're a Sister Wife fan, who do you rent the Airbnb from? The fact that they're all of them are tied into those MLMs. The fact that you're on TV and you're a celebrity, that gives you a huge leg up when it comes to MLMs. I mean, it actually takes a failing business model, because MLMs are horrible business models, and it actually makes it worthwhile. You could actually make money doing it. So, yeah, I think that, and even like with her saying like, we even used the example, like when she was doing interviews for her book. Why is her book selling? Is her book selling because she's interested and everybody's fascinated with Christine, or is her book selling because she's on a television show? You understand what? Because she's not the first ex-wife or ex-Mormon fundamentalist / polygamist who's walked away from their family and wrote a book. But why is her book a bestseller? Because of his Sister Wife fans. So when she talks about the show should be over, that's something that I think that they have to realize, is that your fame, your popularity, a lot of your opportunities and the money you made is tied to your ability to be on the show. But thank you so much. Perfumes are life. Yeah, Wendy, I'm with you. I ain't paying $1,000 for their B&B. Not happening. Not happening. You can pay $1,000 to move to the Airbnb, live in a little condominium, have a good time. I could, or I could just get a hotel room. And it'll probably be way cheaper. I actually have money to do stuff instead of lining people's pockets. I mean, I might drive by and take a picture if you don't mind. But next up, we got Linda. Linda in the house.
Hey, James, it's Linda. I don't have anything to add but to rehash in terms of the catfishing. Please, please, please take a look on the Facebook page. Someone answered a question that I put someplace else, and this person got the mother of all timelines. Now, one of the members wrote or said, I think it was Megatron, that Mary was going to open up her mouth and spill her guts, but she kind of stopped and thought about it. I think Mary's giving these heifers too much grace because.
Oh, is it all out? Hold on a second.
You're on national television trashing this woman. Again, TLC, you are normalizing spousal abuse. You are normalizing domestic abuse. You are normalizing all the shit that's wrong with this fucking society today. Wake the fuck up, TLC. But for real, James, take a look at this, because this makes sense. Again, I stopped watching, after the catfishing and came back later on. And I kind of picked something up, but I wasn't sure what it was I was sensing. But you do this best. Dig into this if you haven't.
Yeah, I saw the actually it's on the My Take Facebook page, I saw that earlier where they were hold on, where they were talking about it and they were doing the timeline. Like they have the timeline laid out. So it's like the timeline for the catfish. They break it down into phases. And they were like phase 1, digital origins and physical integration. They talked about how it didn't just start, like I said, it wasn't just an online thing. It didn't start online. It wasn't, the genesis of it wasn't online. It was like when Robin brought Kendra around and that whole bit, and they go to a meeting for, I think it was the Live meeting, MLM meeting, and they were meeting people and they started getting wrapped into it. Matter of fact, I'll do a video on it. I think I'll do a video on it so we can really dig down into a lot of the timeline. But the timeline is crazy. The timeline is crazy. And it does make the Robin's involvement very clear, if not more apparent, especially if Robin not directly, Robin through her friends and how her friends were involved and people that she knew were intimately involved. Because this even goes to the fact that one of the people associated with Robin actually vouched for the catfish person. Like for the saying that the guy who Mary was supposedly talking to, he's definitely real because I saw him on a video conference call. He's definitely real. He's a person. He is real. I know you feel funny about it. People are telling you that he's a catfish and he's fake, but he's real. Like that shit will get you jacked because you vouched for him. You vouched for him. And so again, if it's just the happenstance of, you met a guy or a person ain't too perfect online and you fall into the trap and people are asking, you be like, no, I mean, he's got to be real because he's like, you deserve that. That's one thing. For you to say you actually met this person and you can confirm that they're actually a legit person, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. So, but I'll do a video on it. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate that. Next up, let's go to Daisy Reyes. We'll do a little Daisy.
Yo, James, a lot of people are saying, they're just rehashing old stuff, and why does it even matter anymore? Especially the stuff with Janelle and Mary's brother and this and that and all the other whole shit that was going on behind the scenes. And my thing is, I'm glad that it's coming out because it's like, why did you guys cover this shit up and not talk about it in the beginning? Because I wouldn't have wasted my time. I'm sure the audience wouldn't have wasted their time if they would have been like, oh, these bitches are scandalous. You fucking her brother. Oh, this is how you came in. Girl, please. Like, yo, this audience is mainly women. Women don't like that, yo, especially if they're solid. Like, and it's just like, yo, you guys try to sell a perfect, like, not a perfect, but an idealized image of what polygamy should be, and you try to sell it. So it's just like, yo, they should be more accountable. Like, yo, we should have been more honest because honestly, I've experienced this now. It's very patriarchal. It's very misogynistic. As a woman, I didn't get the freedoms that I needed, the attentions that I needed. And the fact that they're still pushing it, like, it's super disturbing. Like, what we saw those women go through was disturbing. So, like, that's where I'm coming from, Like, yo, you guys sold us some bullshit and you're still selling us some bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's also why they didn't tell us. Because if they were honest from the beginning, this show wouldn't. This show would have made 5 seasons, let alone 20. This show would have been it'd have been mega canceled because it was sloppy. Like this shit was a mess. Like they, in their desire to not be the stereotype of, they wanted to present an alternative to the stereotype of who, polygamists were and what they're about and all that. So they came up with this, we're not like that because we're like this and blah, blah, blah. In an effort to do that, by season 20, the only thing that's been revealed is you're everything that people think about the stereotype of polygamists. When they think about polygamists and the negative stereotypes that go along with it, you are those things. And that's one of the problems. That's why they were so committed to the lie. Even the people who were being taken advantage of. I think that's why they were committed to it. But we have one more from Daisy.
Janelle's trying to spin this web of bullshit. Well, Jen tried to tell me to fucking take off with the family money and book it and woody woody whoop to distract from her shady shit. And it's just like, yo, she was closer to Mary than she ever was to you. So why would she tell you to take all the money and run? That would affect Mary. Like, yo, if I was closer to two bitches, I would tell the one, you know what I mean? Like, that don't even make no sense. Like, that's what I'm telling you about this bitch.
Well, because even in tagging into what Daisy was saying, the one thing that's crazy to me is, and I want to look you guys in the face when I say this. The one thing that's crazy to me, this is jacked up, but when it comes to Janelle and this whole thing with being pissed off about like Jen, because the way she's talking about it is like she's still mad. Oh, you ain't gonna believe this chick Jen. She had the audacity to come to Mary and say that Cody Brown is mistreating you. You need to pack your stuff and go. How dare she comment on the family? This, that, and that, right? And if Mary would have left with all the money, she'd have took money from me, right? And you can see she felt a certain kind of way about it. Because she got on TV talking about, I fired that chick. Fired her ass. When she came there, she used to come to my house and spray. Like I like how she said, she used to spray our houses. You mean she used to kill them bugs that was in your house? Which takes a different meaning when you find out that Janelle was shoving food down a damn drain and she didn't even have a garbage disposal. Like the fact that she had to get an exterminator to the crib. Of course you had to do that. Because that's probably what Mary was pissed about. Like, how you gonna be shoving food down in the sink? And we got cockroaches running around here the size of Buicks. What are you doing? Like, why are you feeding the urban wildlife? Are you crazy? You know, I don't understand why Mary was mad. Because I woke up in the morning, I had a cockroach on my face. Yeah, that'll ruin your day. You know what I'm saying? That'll ruin your whole damn day. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Are you crazy? And then, like, I'm in there trying to keep the house clean and clean in the kitchen. And here you are leaving dishes in the sink. And I say, you got to clean them dishes up because I ain't trying to come in here and turn the light on and seeing the whole, like, it look like the whole countertop is like, goes from like a white laminated countertop to like, you turn the light off, you come in the morning, flip the light on, and the whole damn thing is brown and it starts running. Like, no. And then you find out she's shoving food down the drain, which is the worst because all it happens is, and I was thinking about this shit, like, especially if you don't have good pipes. If you don't have good pipes, you tear them damn pipes up. Because when you have in the bottom of your sink, little basic plumbing, in the bottom of your sink, there's a straight pipe that leads from the sink. And then there's like a pipe that looks like a U. That's the trap, right? So when you're shoving food down that drain, all that food gets caught in the trap. It doesn't flow all the way through your pipes and out your house. It gets caught in that trap. So all you're doing is putting food in a place where urban wildlife, whether it's ants, roaches, silverfish, whatever, can go down into the drain and eat without having to worry about any dangers from anything. They ain't got to worry about you coming in there, catching them, trying to hit them with a shoe or some shit, or a fly swatter. You know, flies go down there, lay their eggs, and all of a sudden you harvesting, you growing you got a farm in your house. And if worst case scenario, your drain gets backed up, you take that trap off, right? And you dump that into your bucket, it's nothing but rotten food. So your food, like your sink is stinking like shit, and you feeding bugs. So yeah, I'm pissed off. But aside from that, you know, I fired her because she was an exterminator. Because I didn't like what she said. Because she said she wanted Mary to have pride in herself, lead a family, and take some money. And you're that mad at Jen. Here's my issue. You're that mad at Jen, but you're not mad at Cody, who actually stole from you? You're not mad at Robin, who actually stole from you. You mad at Jen saying Mary needs to take her money and leave Cody. You're mad at that, but you're not mad at the person and people who actually stole from you. That's why I'm confused. That's why I'm confused. You know, I'm lost when it comes to that. I don't understand that part. Like, you mad as hell at Jen. Oh, Jen good for Mary, but I had to fire her ass. You know, I looked at Jen. I said,
Fired. I beg your pardon? Fired. But I.
because she had the audacity to say to Mary that you being mistreated, you need to go. So I fired the shit out of her. And I fired her so bad, Cody probably came to me and asked me, why'd you fire her? And I probably told him, like, because she had this, that, and the other to say. But you're not mad at Cody. You don't have a crossword for Cody ripping you off. Taking hundreds of thousands. And people, I know somebody going to come out and say, yeah, but they millionaires. I could be worth $1 million. I could be worth $100 million. If you take hundreds of thousands of dollars from me, I'm going to have a problem. Technically, I probably have a problem if you take $20, even though I had $1 million, because I work for my shit and I know what it's like not to have no money. You know what I mean? That's the difference. But if I have $1 million check coming through and you stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars in property from me, I'm more cross with you than I am with somebody's friend who had a conversation. And like I said, they try to make that seem like it was a big deal. Oh, I can't believe that Jen had the audacity to tell her friend this, that, and other. Like I said, I'm a grown-ass man, Doc. I've been a grown-ass man for a long time. A long time. And I would be surprised if I was sitting there treating my wife the way Cody was treating Mary, and she was talking to her girlfriends. I would be surprised if they didn't say, girl, you need to pack a bag on his ass, or you need to put him out, or something to that effect. I would be surprised that that wouldn't be a conversation. They did tell you to leave? Girl, you need some new friends. Girl, you need some new friends. Shit. You know, you need some new friends, baby. Because your friends should have told you to leave my ass. Like, hey, the way the world you treat, like the way Cody was treating Mary, not coming around, dissing her, telling her, you know, you got to sell this, you got to do that, give me my money. No, I ain't coming over to see you. But you fell down the steps, you on your own. When she fell down, he went skiing with her. Christina and them had to go check on her because Cody didn't go and check on her. And you think that her girlfriends ain't gonna be talking shit about you. Dog, I'm here to tell you, in case nobody ever told you, I'm here to tell you. Let me be the first to tell you, Cody, if you're doing your woman wrong, her friends are talking shit about you. Sometimes you don't even be doing it wrong. Her friends still might be talking shit about you. Keep it all the way a buck. But if you're doing your wife dirty, her friends are talking shit about you. 100%. So I think that's a non-issue. But thank you so much, Daisy, for calling in. Because that, what? Like I said, I would be surprised if they didn't talk shit about you. I'm like, what? They didn't what? They didn't say nothing? But let me go to Alexandra.
Hey, James and My Take fam, this is Alexandra. So I was thinking, this whole rehashing the whole catfish situation, did we not learn anything from what happened to Big G? Did we not learn that mental health is important and maybe bringing up something as humiliating as this is not good for someone's mental health? I just don't get it. Why are we going back to something so toxic and so humiliating? It's really showing how much of a whipping boy Mary was and still is for this family, and it makes me so angry every time we talk about it.
Alexander's like, don't talk about it. Yeah, again, this is I get it. I get where she's coming from. Because like I said, like even talking about it, I feel like a bully because that's what it is. Like it's used as a way to gang up on Mary to bully her and make her feel bad about something that she did or decision she made. But part of that too is you like if I could talk to Mary, one of the things I would say to Mary is you have to, if you're tired of them hitting you with this shit, take it away from them. Take it away. Don't let them hit you with this shit no more. Tell the truth. The truth shall set you free. You know, the truth shall set you free. This is a non-issue. If she said, look, yeah, I was talking to a guy, I was neglected, I was abandoned, I was alone, I was hurt, I was going through it. I had granted Cody a divorce, allowed him to marry the love of his life, his soulmate. I did that for him. And subsequently, after me making that sacrifice, I was widely ignored. This was incredibly painful. I was vulnerable. And at that point, when I met this other person who found me attractive, who thought I was interesting, who said that I was nice and kind and told me when I said things and we had disagreements, he didn't tell me I had to change. Yeah, I thought that I had somebody whom I could build a relationship with and build a life with. And I fell into that fantasy of it. And I was all in. And as it turns out, that person was not real. That was a lie. And I think that Mary would find forgiveness in that. Nobody, I think part of the reason why people get frustrated at it is because people have already forgiven Mary. The problem that Mary has is Mary hasn't forgiven Mary. That's why they could beat her ass with this shit all the time. Mary hasn't forgiven Mary. And we can sit here all day and talk about how she wasn't cheating and she didn't think she did anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong because of this, that, and the other. Cody had abandoned her and all the reasons. She thinks she cheated. She thinks she did something wrong. She thinks that she deserves to be treated or punished because she did something wrong. And this is part of her accepting the fact of what she did and realizing that you are a human being and you are vulnerable to the foils of your condition of being a human being. And being a human being, you're going to make mistakes. Being a human being, you're going to be vulnerable because we are, as much as we like to talk that lone wolf bullshit and we can exist isolated and without nobody else because we don't need nobody else. By nature, human beings are social creatures. We are social creatures. Do you realize that in the if you go to the like international law, do you realize like putting somebody in solitary confinement for excessive amount of time is considered a war crime? You know why that is? Is because we as people rely on each other. We need human contact. It's considered a war crime because we need human contact because it's built into who we are. And Mary is just saying that she falls victim to those foibles. And I don't think that she deserves to be punished or beat for that or crucified for that weakness, especially in light of the things that she was doing and why she was doing it and the things she went through. But it's not up to me. She has to forgive herself. And she won't get anywhere until she does that. You know? Love Soka. Oh, you said what? You left the speak pipe. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Just to make sure I got it. But while I do that, let's rock with the jam. Jam. Oh, jam.
Hello, James, and my take on Reality Family. I think that we all started watching Sister Wives as kind of outside anthropologists. We wanted to know how the Sister Wives modern style of polygamy family lives. What makes them a family? What financial decisions needed to be made for them to have such a large family? And what spiritual practices did they have? So, I just want to compliment you on all being very smart people. There are smart people who watch reality TV because they want to observe, they want to interpret, they want to make meaning out of different people's behavior. I think the smartest style of viewer is not just watching, they're actually studying. And what this show did for a lot of us was
Hold on. Go to part 2.
okay, so this is the jam part 2, and this is the end. So I guess what I was trying to say that we kind of watched the show for fun, but also to think deeply about it. And it gave us a chance to look at maybe intimate and personal situations and how you should really try to establish connections with each other in life. I think the show hopefully gave us all an opportunity to be an analytical observer where we watched the alliances and money grabs, and we became empathetic at times with different cast members, and we got to see their highs and lows. I think that in ending, we're all pretty just happy that the stars have moved on, and we should now just celebrate the success that is over. So thanks for watching with me. Thanks for chatting with me in the chat. And I'll see you hopefully at our next venture. All right. Bye.
All right. I mean, I think that's fair. Because at the end of the day, guys, you know what I mean? This show is cooked. Like this shit is on fire. Like it's smothering, it's smoldering. Because I don't have nowhere else to go with it. And the only thing is that what concerns me about moving into season 21 is that they already get for them like where do you guys want to go? So they give them basically a production say, and they're starting to give the cast members writing privileges. And it's not even writing as far as let's talk. We had this issue go on. Maybe we should address that. It's let's create this experience, and then we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to make a big deal of it. And the problem with that is that especially when you're on a show with a bunch of divas, right? Nobody wants to look bad. And because nobody wants to look bad, a lot of the stuff that they're going to present isn't going to make sense. It's just not. Like all of a sudden everybody's pissed off because they're going to come together and we're going to meet for one of Robin's kids' birthdays, and we're going to bring the whole family together. Ooh, this is going to be tense. And then they'll show up and they'll all be fake nice to each other and maybe look at each other real stern across the room. And then to make the show, they might have the cast members talk shit about each other on the couch. And then that's supposed to be the tell-all where they like, yeah, they had this to say. Oh, that's some of my bitch. I bring them to my special family event, and this is what they do. I never should have did it. Blah, blah, blah. So, but it all means nothing. And that's part of the problem, isn't it? That it all means nothing after a while. And I think that's where we are with this whole thing. So It's yeah, as far as the show is concerned, uh like I said, when you walk into the finale of a show, it should always be on a high note where you're like, I can't wait for next season. You know, it's almost the cliffhangers from like old TV shows, like real like I'm about to say like the golden era of television. You know, when they'd have the cliffhangers, you know, Fonzie's about to jump the shark pit and then like, gotta find out next season. So you gotta wait the whole summer to find out if Fonzie gonna make it over the shark pit. Or next week, you gotta find out if Bo and Luke Duke are gonna make it over the river in the General Lee, the fastest car in Hazard County. But those are cliffhangers. Like it gets you excited about the next show. Batman, hell, the old Batman show, Batman and Robin. They used to do the same thing. So, um, that's what I think we're used to. And with this show, this season, it didn't go out on a cliffhanger. It didn't end on a bang. It just kind of stopped. Like it went along all season, kind of sputtered along, and then at the end of the season, it just looked like it ran out of gas. Like they just ran out of like the cameras died because the batteries, nobody charged the batteries on the cameras. Like, all right, well, I guess that's a wrap, y'all. It's over. Go home. Because the hell, even during the tell-all, so Suki only said bye to Robin and Cody. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. She only said bye to Robin and Cody. She didn't thank Christine, Mary, or Janelle. She certainly didn't thank Jen or David, but she thanked Robin and said, that's a good place for us to stop. That's really good place for us to end. Thank you so much for coming out. And she told Cody, this was the most amazing interview ever. We feel like we found out all kinds of information and we really got to the bottom of some things because this was outstanding. Like, what did y'all talk about? Shit that was like 35 years old? You know what I mean? When you first met your ex-wife, your second ex-wife, I'm sorry, your first ex-wife met your second ex-wife, and then your third ex-wife left you, and now you're married, what were you thinking when you first saw him? What difference do it make? Who gives a shit? It was 35 years ago. It was almost 40 years ago. This shit is middle-aged. Like their marriages are middle-aged. The marriage is middle-aged. So, I don't know. Yeah. Tanya Carter said Suki fans out over Robin and Cody. Yeah, and like there was a part, just real quick. There was a part where she had asked Suki had asked Christine, well, what was it about Robin to make you not trust her? Well, I would go to her, we would have a conversation, me and Robin, and she would run back and tell Cody what I said. Now, if I am talking to Robin and she's trying to help me in my relationship and she's talking to me and she's talking to Cody, that's cool. Or if she talks to Cody and then come back and tell me what she said to Cody and what was said, that's okay. But I have a problem with me telling her things confidentially and then her running back and telling Cody behind my back. And then Cody coming back and yelling at me about the shit she said. Because what Christine didn't connect the dots to, that I will connect the dots to, is it's not just what she said. Christine, baby girl, it's not just what she said. It's fucking how she said it. That's what got you in trouble. It's not the fact that she just went back and said, oh, Christine said blah, 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 blah. She went back and was like, oh, she was like, you ain't shit. Your little man ain't doing no job. You ain't working nothing out. She also said you a deadbeat ass father. She said that you got a little punk ass job. You got a little kid job. She said that you ain't taking care of nothing over her way. She said you might as well keep your little short pants ass at home because you ain't worth the shit nor time that it would take to try to straighten you out. That's what she said. And Christine said half of that. Not even half of that. And that's why I don't trust that shit either. Like, talk for yourself. You know what I mean? Get yourself to a position where if you're gonna say something behind somebody's back, don't say it, especially to somebody who is connected to the person you're talking shit about. You should never say something to that person that you are not willing to say to the person you're talking about. My wife always said, like, you know, if I'm talking shit behind your back, just know and believe that I'm practicing how I'm going to say it to your face. And I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Because the problem with you talking shit behind somebody's back, too often, especially when you all have problems and issues together, or you have relationships together. If Robin has a problem with Cody, she'll come over and be like, Cody comes over my place. He want to sit up. I make a dinner. He don't want to wash a dish. He don't want to help with the kids. He just want to sit back, finish his meal, then go into the other room and expect me to bring him a beverage out so he could watch his programs. And I got to sit here and clean the kitchen up and take care of the kids. He ain't shit. And then Christine come back and say, yeah, you right. He come over my house. He don't even want to drink the stuff. He sit on the phone all night, texting somebody. I don't even know who he texting. Texting Robin, by the way. And you know, they had that conversation. Robin's not going to just go back and tell Cody about Christine's issue. She's going to go back and pad Christine's issue with Robin, she being Robin, pad Christine's issue with her issues and tell Cody about all the shit and just put Christine's name on it. So yeah, I got a problem with, you know, as Robin, I got a problem with Cody and what he doing, what he not doing, how he come over my house acting lazy. And I'm going to tell him so much that you acting lazy. Only difference is I'm not going to be the one who said it because I'm going to say Christine said it. And I'll be willing to bet a dime to a dollar, a dime to a box of donuts, that at the end of the day, that's exactly why your ass was getting in trouble. You wasn't just getting in trouble for the shit you said. You was getting in trouble for the extra shit Robin was saying. And that's why you was in trouble. But when she was saying that, when Christine was saying all that, look at Suki's face. She act like she don't understand shit. Oh, I don't understand what the problem is, Christine. What are you talking about? Why is that an issue? You don't understand what she talk like. Come on now. You don't have friends. If you coming to me and you supposed to be my confidant, you coming to me as a friend. Now I get it. I get it. I gotta have some common sense. I gotta take responsibility for myself too. If I'm talking to you and I'm talking to you about your husband and your wife, I should expect you to go back and tell your husband and your wife. That's kind of on me. But if we share something like that and you're coming to me supposed to be my friend, then what you're telling me is you should tell me from the start. And I even say, I go as far as this. You should tell me from the start. No. Don't talk shit because you know I'm going to go back and tell them. Everything you say, you know I'm going to tell them, right? That's on you too. Like, that would be on Robin to tell Christine, like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be your confidant, your friend, and then run back, get the information and run back to Cody. That's dishonest. If Robin's going to be a real one, the moral compass should know that if you plan on telling your husband about the shit you talk about with one of his wives, then you should tell that wife, before you say shit to me, understand I'm going to go back and tell Cody. Because I don't want no secrets between us. And I can even respect that. I don't want to have secrets between me and my husband. I don't have secrets between me and my wife. I can respect that. So no, if you know, I've had buddies like say shit like that. You know, I'll be doing something and they'll bring, you know, I was at the wedding. I know they married. And they bring another woman to one of my events. Don't tie me up in your lies, bro. Don't tie me up in your lies. So, you know what I'm saying? Just no, I'm not lying for nobody. Like, you know, and especially if you don't call me first, you call this type of shit. You call me and ask me, am I willing to be up in the bullshit? Right? So if you are cheating on your wife, you stepping out on your wife, and you gonna make me an accomplice, if I am the plan, I should be included in the planning. So before you show up to where I am with this other woman, you need to clear it with me that I'm going to be on the same page with you. Otherwise, don't be surprised if your wife asks me, yeah, James, you saw my husband? Yeah, I did. Was he with anybody? Yo, you know the answer to that. Don't even play with me. I might not throw you clean under the bus, but I'm not going to lie for you either. But you got to clear that shit up. If you want me to sit there and be your confidant, you know, you got to be honest. And I can't complain that you don't trust me or you don't confide in me if I do betray you. Right? If it's going to create a problem or issue between me and my wife, like, oh, well, you told your wife that you saw me out with somebody? Yeah. Because your lie ain't my lie to keep. You understand? I'm not going to fuck my shit up trying to cover up with you. I'm not trying to get divorced. Okay. Come on, man, bros before hoes. Like, no, not today. I like my house. I like staying there. So yeah. But I just think that like the reactions that she has towards, like even when Mary was telling her story, the faces that I'm about to call it Kendra, the faces that Suki was making when talking to the attitudes and the faces she was making compared to the OG3 versus the faces that she makes with Robin and Cody is completely different. And I understand that she can't ask serious questions, but I mean, you don't have to sit there and twist your face up when you talking to one group, but then when you talking to the other group, you sitting there with a big smile on your face, cheese grin on your face, acting like, oh yes, tell me another lie. Wow, okay, that makes no sense. Wow, okay, all right. I mean, yeah, why wouldn't you do that? Yeah, you know, that's where I'm at. Oh yeah, I got the poll results. Let's check these poll results. Thank you so much, Litma. Do you think Janelle wanted Mary to get an accountant to prove donations to the family? Do you think she was a part of that? You know, when Cody was like, "Yo, Mary, I think you holding out on the fam, girl. I'm giving y'all everything you deserve. I'm paying my tithes to the Church of Brown." Mary, I don't believe you, girl. You need to get this accountant in here, and we gotta go through these books. So it said, do you think Janelle wanted Mary? Was Janelle part of it? I think Mary might be coming up short. I don't think she's paying enough. Yeah, she get big money. She going on vacation because Janelle would know a lot about that stuff too. Like especially how the diamond clubs and the diamond profit sharing works, because Janelle is high up there in her organization. So she would understand a little better. That's why I'm like, I don't know. But do you think Janelle wanted Mary to get an accountant to prove donations to the family? This is one of the closest polls yet. 42% of you said no. Janelle would never do that. The other 58% is rocking with Megatron, who's like, hell yeah, Janelle did that. Hell yeah, Janelle did that. So the winner is yes. Janelle might have been party to that with 58%. Still a close poll. That's rough, though. I'm going to call that poll off. That's almost everybody voted on that one. Woo-wee. All right. But thank you guys so much. Yeah, I gotta look into some of this stuff. Cause them emails, what? That's why Mary ain't got no kids. What's this? Tie with the $5 super chat. Said, just paying my tithes and offering. Don't worry, I ain't gonna send no accountants to your house. I'll be a little late on Saturday for the members only, but I will be there. All right, Ty. Hot damn. Ty in the house. Thank you so much, Ty. Let me give you a little something. Tithes and offers. Let me give Ty a little something. Yeah, especially if I'm not part of the family. That's why I keep saying, like, everybody says that, like, oh, when she was catfishing, the catfish scandal, Mary wasn't part of the family. If you're not part of the family, ain't no way in the world I'm bringing an accountant in. You couldn't even talk to me about an accountant. Why am I giving you money? You understand what I mean? I give money, like, if it feels like that, I'm contributing to the family. If she's not a member of the family, why is she even entertaining an accountant or even that question or a conversation? Like, what? Well, I need to know how much you making and make sure you giving me what you deserve to give me what I deserve, because I need to have 50%. 50% of what? About to cash in with 100% of that on my bad attitude. You know what I mean? All right, Megatron with the 10,000 steps. What? Megatron's getting dedicated. Dedicated. Motivated. Lip, right, lip, right, lip, right, lip. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm telling you. I used to run the cadence. 1492, a man shipped out to college. He said he'd be a son of a gun evader and bring back Chicago. Yeah, that was my shit. That and I left my home to join the army. My mama was home when I left. You're right. Your father was home when you left. You're right. My kids was home when they left. You're right. My wife was home when I left. You're right. I left my home to join the army. That was my shit, boy. Yeah, guys, that is that. We got through another one. Before we go, though, let me you know what I like to do? I like to put hearts in the chat. Let's get some hearts in the chat. This is a special segment I like to do. I should have did it earlier, actually. I've been kind of lacking and slacking. But I like to do hearts in the chat because I think it's important for us to support one another. Because again, we're social people, we're social beings, and it helps when we have support from our fellow human beings, people in our tribe supporting us, right? So I want to give hearts in the chat first and foremost for anybody who needs that support and maybe didn't notify me or want to keep it to themselves. They're going through some personal struggles. Let's put some hearts in the chat for them. Also, let's put some hearts in the chat for Jody Periscala. She was going through some things. Still an active member, still participating, still, putting her comments in, getting her stuff in, but want to give her recognition. Carmel Cuties, one of the Mega Mod Squad. Salute, doing her thing. Megatron, of course, she had some things going on. So we want to support her, as well as Miss Betty. She was in here earlier, showing a little love, touching base. She's very busy. She has some things going on. Also an active member, just always in the chat, always trying to bring a personality and uplift the group. So we want to definitely support her. Kathy Ferran, Kathy, OG triple OG Kathy. The sarcastic one. Allison Gaines in the house. Always she hit me up one time and just, asked to be included. So absolutely, you're included. As well as Marlo Peterson. I want to make sure we get her in there as well. So let's get some hearts in the chat for those folks so that we can give them that support. Thank you guys so much, because that, just want to make sure Well, yeah, it was a lot of folks supported that poll. But yeah, Dad said, "Why would I read a book from Mary when all she's gonna say is I will not be silenced?" She gonna write a book about not being able to talk. That's awesome. Next up, I want to give recognition to the folks who left the speak pipe messages. We had Mary M, who, because without the speak pipe messages, the Thursday night speak pipe show might be a little slow. So we had Mary M, we had Carolyn from Canada, we had Candace, Tanya Carter, Mrs. Carter, we had Lauren, Ann, Janet, Linda, Alexandra, and of course we had the indelible Daisy in the house. So let's get them a round of applause. Let's get them a round of applause. Thank you guys so much. Then, of course, we had the folks who helped to contribute to the show in the form of super chats. I want to give them a special recognition. We had Jody Periscala, Megatron, Carmel Cuties, Sharon, and Martinette. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody who keep it chill in the chat, as well as the Mega Mod Squad. We can't forget the Mega Mod Squad because they actually hold us down. They keep the chat safe and keep it a space where we can exercise our freedoms of speech and free thought. And we do it in an area where we can support each other. We can disagree, where we disagree with ideas, but not necessarily be disagreeable. And I think that the Mega Mod Squad goes a long way in helping to facilitate that. So I want to give a big recognition to Lizzie B, Carmel Cuties, and Brittany Not Brittany. So thank you, everybody. Let me give you a little something. All right, everybody. That is where I am. That's my, as Linda would say, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Make try to say my take on reality turn up Friday. What? Wait, what's going on? One second. Oh shit. Oh, okay. Yeah, Carmel Kitty saying that she had some little under the weather. Yeah, I tell you, like, yeah, guys, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Like, Megatron's out there killing everything, walking and lifting weights and doing all kinds of shit. But make sure you aside from that, make sure you're taking care of yourself, both mentally and physically. Make sure that you're staying on point. And even beyond that, like, it's easy to be like, I think it's always, I won't say it's easy, but it's always encouraged, like, oh, go on, lose a bunch of weight and lift some weights and throw some stuff around. But I think that there has to be a point too where in self-maintenance, it's not just about working to maintain a healthy lifestyle and doing all the things and meditating and eating right and saying your prayers at night and all that and working out. I think that there's a point too, as part of self-care, that I would like to normalize, and that's recognizing where you are and being appreciative of where you are and what you have. Because, one of the sayings, like old quotes that always got in touch me, was there's a quote that says, I complained about my shoes until I met a man with no feet. You understand what I mean? Like, as bad as your situation is, it could always be worse. And if you've ever suffered from an ailment, right, that's the one thing you think about. Like you're short of breath. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. You didn't appreciate that good air you was sucking up before your shit got tight. You know what I mean? If you have back issues, you didn't appreciate the fact that, like, I'll share this story time. There was I had a back injury when I was younger, and it carried over. Like I would have this back injury. It was like a sciatica nerve was being pinched, and it seemed like every year it would come on, and it would be terrible. I mean, just terrible. And a couple times, like I went down, and I was sure that I wasn't going to be able to walk. Like you know what I mean? It was that bad. Like I was like, oh, this might be it for a player. And you know, the one thing with like having back injuries as opposed to like leg injuries or arm injuries is that one, you never get comfortable when you lay down. Two, whenever you do get comfortable or you feel like you're about to fall asleep, you always got to get up and go to the bathroom. It's always like you got to get moving again, be uncomfortable so you can go do what you got to do so you can come back and be uncomfortable for another 4 hours. But I tell you what, after I started getting better, I learned to appreciate. I learned to appreciate the small blessing of being able to get up. If I have to go to the bathroom, I can get up out of my chair, walk across the room, down the hall, go to the bathroom. Those little things that we have to learn to appreciate. And I think that that's also part of your mental health journey. Is not just trying to improve, work to improve and get better and get bigger and stronger and all that. It's actually taking a moment to appreciate where you are and what you have. Because a lot of times we spend so much time worrying about shit that we don't have, all the stuff that we could be doing, all the stuff we should be doing, all the things and the properties and the cars. Like, oh, I wish I had a better car. I wish I had a this, that, and other. Like I said, you know, I complained about my shoes till I met a man with no feet. I complained about my car till my car broke down. Okay, you gotta get on the bus, or you gotta walk somewhere, ride a bike somewhere. Then you don't give a shit that your car don't match. Got 3 different colors on it, right? As long as it's getting you from A to B. Right. And what I'm saying is that you can always want better. And I think that's a great thing for you to want better, to do better. But at the same time, you have to stop sometimes in your pursuit of getting better and appreciate where you are. You know, you want your kids, like, oh, everybody want their kid to be doctors and lawyers. Sometimes you just got to be happy that your kid is healthy and here. You understand what I mean? Your kid is here. Maybe you might be frustrated. They did something in school today, but they're here. You can go into the room and talk to them. There's other people on this planet, hell, on this platform, who can't do that and would give anything for the opportunity to have one more conversation with their child. Right? So all I'm saying is, like, as long and short, I could have made this so much shorter, just simply by saying, don't take shit for granted. You know? Like I said, like I used to take for granted like my physical prowess to be able to do things until I couldn't do it no more. Or I had a stint where I couldn't do it. And it was a question of mentally, like the doctors never said, James, you know, this is it, bro. No more dancing for you. But I was sure the way shit was feeling and as incapacitated as I was like, I don't see me coming back. And then when you get back, you learn to appreciate the small shit. If you ever want to, like I said, if you ever, that's why poor people who've been poor, I think make better rich people. Because when you've been poor, you appreciate shit. You appreciate shit. When you start getting stuff and you start coming up, if you always had it, then you kind of like, oh, well, it's expected. But when you work for something or you get something when you never had it, you appreciate the hell out of it. Yeah, every opportunity you come home, sometimes like you come home, just the ability to come home to a place that's yours. If you've ever been homeless or you ever been concerned about being homeless, I would imagine that one of the most special things that you can have is being able to walk into a place that you own, a place that belongs to you. It might not be a mansion, might be on a bad side of town, the worst house in the bad side of town. But if it's yours, you walk up on that house and be like, that's mine. You know what I mean? So appreciate what you got. Maybe it's not the house of your dreams, or your body ain't where, ideally where you want it to be. The last thing I'll say on that, even, like, you ever go back and people ask to take your pictures when you like in your 20s or 30s, and you're like, nah, I don't take my picture. I feel kind of frumpy. I feel like I'm a little bloated. I feel like I'm retaining a lot of water. I don't take my picture. I don't feel like I look good. I got to lose like 5 pounds, right? And you get a little older and that metabolism slows down and sometimes feel like it stopped, right? My metabolism quit on me 20 years ago. And you working out and killing yourself in the gym so you can get back to where you were when you were refusing to take pictures. That's why I like those kind of songs that talk about like dance like nobody watching. Live your life like you don't know, like live like you are dying. Like live like you don't have tomorrow. Appreciate your family. Appreciate your kids. Like, you know what I mean? Love everything that you have like it's not going to be here. Like, because nobody is guaranteed shit. And that's the one truth about life. Life isn't going to be fair. Life ain't fair. It don't work like you think it should. There's no justice. And life don't owe you shit. And when you leave here, you know what I mean? You're going to go up and you're going to plane to the heavens. Like, it ain't right how you did me. You be like, look, ain't nobody promised you that shit. And one of the other things I didn't promise you is forever. I didn't promise you that your parents was going to live forever. I didn't promise you your kids going to live forever. I didn't promise you that it's going to be fair, because the natural order of things is that parents always precede the children in death. I didn't promise you that. So love them while you got them, and hold on to them and appreciate your situation. So, and I agree, life is hard. Life is hard. Life is hard. Life is for the living. And it damn sure ain't for the weak, because life will kick your ass every day and twice on Sunday. And then when you get down, like, it's not fair. I'm already down. Life be like, well, I'm gonna polish my boots with your forehead. So, because that's how life works, But I'm just saying, like, in your observation that you don't have anything, just recognize that you have what you need. Maybe you don't have what you need. You feel like you could do better. That's fine. That's natural. I'm just saying that appreciate what you got. Take time to appreciate what you got. Because maybe you don't live in the house that you got, but you can get up and walk across the room. You healthy. Appreciate your time. That's all I'm saying. Take it for what it is. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me in my last little spiel of the evening. Like, what James on? Why he talk so much? What is he on? He ramming. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Yeah, we'll be back on Saturday for the members roundtable. I will be releasing a video, talking about some of the issues that are popping up on some of the social media sites like Facebook and stuff. So I'll be in the Reddits and all that. So we'll see how that goes. And I have my new material that I will be dropping very soon. So keep an eye out for that. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, My Take on Reality Live, please subscribe to that channel, because that's where my lives will live. So if you want to do the recaps or rewatches, that's where they'll be. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. That's my take. I'm James, and this has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out. Oh, yeah, I will be back on Sunday, too. We'll be doing the Sunday show. All right. That's My Take on Reality, and I'm out. Have a great night, guys.